Hello and welcome to another wonderful evening here with the American Ricci Mahjong League. My name is Ennui, and I am joined tonight by Dustin. How you doing, Dustin?
I'm doing great. I am as hyped as everyone for this 27 Dan table, as they would say.
Yeah, I mean 27 Dans is a lot of Dans. I think I've met like 3 Dans total in my life. So of our 27 Dans here, 7 of them are represented by Korak, who will be our first dealer here. 7 of them are Steve on the right, 7 of them are Light Pink Yoshi, Max across the way, and 6 of them are Matthew on the left. Of this table, 3 of the players have been in A1 the entire time A1 has been a thing, and Matthew just promoted, but is an incredibly good player, so this should be an absolute slugfest.
And we're getting right into it. Korak is the first dealer.
No, none of the Dora Shah in Korak's hand. Not
Oh,
much
wow.
incredible in Korak's hand at all.
A
Like Matthew's
Sanzo
hand on
draw. Yeah.
Matthew's hand on the left though is like 2 double Souths, 2 Shahs, and 2 Red Dragons, which those are Yakuhai for Matthew. So might actually be able to do something with that.
Yeah,
Could
getting
even
another So tile.
might make the play for So Honitsu there. Unfortunately, Steve has the other 2 Chun
Oh,
on
that is
our right
heartbreaking.
here.
However, they drew another Sanzo. It's always a good sign.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with another Sanzo. Maybe just call the Souths and the Wests, and then the Chun can be your pair. Although across the table, Max's hand has progressed incredibly quickly. Has one too many blocks, but is on the fast track towards a Pinfu and possibly even an Itsu. Yeah, getting rid of that 2-4 Monkanchan right now.
So Korak's gonna be stuck with this Dora. I guess that Tuso is great, but still not forcing the Honitsu on the left. But I guess,
Might force it now.
I just
Gee,
pawn it. Oh yeah, Chi, and now there
Well,
is.
you can't pawn the 5-so.
Oh yeah. Well, I was saying when the Dora gets cut, or will it get cut? Would Korak fold this?
Korak's hand is bad enough that he might just never cut it. Simply
Yeah,
because he has nothing to fight for
yeah. I might see
other
a
than his dealership.
3-4 Rionman and have a bit of a danger sense going on.
Yeah, the 9-so cut and then the 3-4 Rionman, I think, is going to be a pretty big red flag to the rest of the table. Max has had an absolutely incredible Ishanten for a couple of tiles now. Drew the 4-so to get one away from the Itsu, and actually is going to palm the 8-so and take the Tanyao Nomi, the 5-pin, 8-pin Tempai, sensing that Matthew is getting close and wants to put up a fight here and end a potentially expensive hand, not wanting to wait around for the potential Mongon that he could have gotten should he wait around on a 1-so.
Right, and that there's one South still in the wall, and another Dora. Well, it's probably not gonna. Oh, that C just steals into the Tanyao, but that's fine. It's just 1,000 points.
Yeah, and Steve, I'm sure, does not mind that deal in at all. It looked like you haven't seen any of the Dora, and there's something that looks spookily like a Honitsu happening across the table from you. You're probably more than happy to just pay out the 1,000 and earn your dealership. Steve's dealership, though, not bringing a lot of incredible tiles. You could do something interesting with the so shapes, I guess, but there's not even a ton of middle tiles to grow better shapes from. This hand needs a lot of work.
Yeah, it could be a lot better.
I'm much more enthused by the Ishanten Chitoy hand across the way for Matthew. Has 5 pairs already.
Oh, that's not Chitoy. That's on
Yeet.
Roto. Oh, but
That's an Amon. Oh, there's
five
already a
so
Ricci.
Chun Ricci.
And there's a single Dora in that hand. So we have Ricci Dora 1 and a possible Chun.
But you gotta read the Honroto and save yourself from dealing with this Chun, surely.
I mean, greeting
The one so.
It's the closest thing to safe out of all of the tiles in that hand.
I mean, it is safe, however. Honroto Toy Toy.
I mean, the
2
8-mon
Yakwai
is in that
potentially.
hand. I think you keep forgetting, I think, that the 8-mon is not a terminal.
I'm not forgetting, I am greeting. You just throw double 8-mon easily.
Double 8-mon, toss the 5-mon and the 3-mon into this Ricci. No big deal. All easy things to do.
With 3/4-mon out, that's like half Kabe. But
The 7-so is an incredible pull for Steve here. I mean, Steve's hand is, not great. Has kind of been playing a little bit of defense here. The 3-so safe.
it is improving, though. It might at least get Tenpai if they really want to push. The 9-pin is such a hard tile to push, though, being near the Dora. However, the long Suji has been cleared. Well, it's been set up. It hasn't been cleared.
I mean, the 3-pin is out. This is true.
That Chun. I guess if they did chi that would have been a sumo on the Takame. So, but now, yeah, it is Shampai. Definitely have to fold out here, but might still somehow get Tenpai on Chun Tonki. But we'll probably go to Ryukyoku.
Not enough 7-mon are cut yet to really feel comfortable cutting the 6-mon.
The Dora's safe tile.
Yeah, it came out of Max's hand a while ago.
Yeah.
The 5-so, there's still one 5-so left in the wall, so Max can still sumo this.
Yeah, Korak had the opportunity to take Tenpai, however, 9-mon. I guess I take the one chance. Actually, it's 0 chance. I don't. Actually, that's a Tenpai. That's like.
Each.
That's yeah. 3
chasing
6
with the 4-pin.
9-mon. 3-so is Ipatsu.
Gonna come out.
Yeah, I think Korak did have a Tenpai, but it's not great, so rejected and rewarded with Ipatsu and Ura.
So Korak with the 3-han hand right at the end there after Max called Ricci on turn 4 and everybody held his tiles.
Yeah, but at least Max starting out with a Dora pair, which you love to see as a dealer. You can even get Pinfu with that.
Yeah, it does have 3 really nice shapes and a floating 4-mon that might help you get Sanshoku and will definitely help you get rid of one of those Pinchan blocks, the 8-9-mon or the 8-9-so. But it looks like both Matthew and Korak also have pretty decent hands. I mean, Korak's already Ishanten. Probably, does not take the first tune.
Yeah, Matthews, I think that. No, that's not. That is Tenpai. If you want to reach on 7-pin, but do you want to reach this early on a bad weight? It's like it could also get Sanchoku as well. Thinking really hard about it. Decides to reject the Ricci at least.
Yeah, the only issue here is I feel like it's kind of hard to make things work. Yep, kind of hedging towards the possible 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku here.
Antonio as well, so I definitely agree with that.
It's hard for me to imagine too many improvements coming into this hand, though. You need such specific tiles. Yeah, the immediate punish.
Sanshoku. Well, it's hey, they're getting the Tanyo. They're getting that extra Han and Sanshoku.
Right now they're getting nothing. I'm pulling for them to pull in something useful, but this is what you need is so narrow. Korak. Oh yeah, all the 6-mon are already gone. I mean, Korak's got 3 of them in his hand. So if the 3-mon is the tile if the 6-mon is the tile that Matthew's waiting on, it's never gonna come.
Yeah, maybe if there's a Ricci, they will chase. Although it's bad weight. If you do get the 5-pin, you get the 3-side, and you definitely just slam that. But you already have 2 of them, so it's a little hard to get. And one's already out, so.
Korak electing to toss away the 5-mon now rather than later. The 2-pin or 3-pin.
Can you? It's halfway through, non-cut. I just sends it.
Yeah, and Max, of course, can't call pawn.
Reach.
Oh, there's the 5-pin. Just like you
Oh,
said.
beautiful.
Oh,
4, 6,
but
7
now,
pin weight.
now
Oh,
Korak
that
can chase, discarding 2-pin. So we have another 5-so Chun weight.
and
The
Chunes
Chun.
once cut this time.
So the Chun feels incredibly likely to come out if someone happens upon it, having to play defense against 2 Richis.
Oh no!
it is!
Another Ipatsu with a Takame.
Twice in a row, Korak calls Richi,
Oh,
chasing someone else, and gets the Apatsu off of the person he chased.
that's so heartbreaking, especially with the 3-sided weight as well.
I wonder if this will be the first season we actually see Korak get like any sort of momentum. He's had a really hard time getting the flow, especially early on.
It's a possibility.
Matthew here, meanwhile, has a pair of South, which is not yet a Yakuhai. We're still in East 4. Does have a Dora and a pair of Haku, though. This isn't screaming Honitsu to me, but it's not screaming a whole lot else either. So we'll see what Matthew does with it. Korak does call the West, fully expecting to get the Chun later on. And then Max is fully going for the Honitsu on the left in Monzu.
Yeah, Korak going aggressive Adazuke for the Chun, but Max might hold that Chun for their own Hanitsu, so could be in a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, they just don't have anything, really, is the unfortunate bit. Matthew taking a step a little bit closer towards the pin Honitsu there, has gotten rid of all the So blocks, or So tiles, I should say. There was never really a block there.
Right. And I guess if Max even does get Tenpai, most likely from like getting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they'll feed either of those Yakuai hands. Maybe even both if they get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Neither are Tenpai yet, though.
Each.
And now we have the Richi from Steve waiting on the 6-so, 9-so. That's Richi, Pinfu, possible Tanyao.
Oh, that's so it's gonna be bad for Korak. Oh, he's can't get Tenpai. However, he isn't first. Oh, takes the Tenpai and deals in.
Well, and that was such an empty weight too. I mean, there were 4 in Matthew's discard pile. So Max feeding Korak the Chun there, very much helping out Steve.
How many points does Korak's hands were? 52. It's like fair enough. At least it wasn't punished for Ura. But yeah. If Steve hit Ura, that would have been a Mongon. But Korak is still first and getting the next Seaway ship.
And has a decent hand here. I mean, you don't really like to see Pinchon, but at least the Pinchon are supported by pair tiles. You have the 889 and the 122. Makes it a little bit more useful, a little bit more efficient, easier to complete, especially with the 7-mon being the Dora. We are now in the South round, so the pair of Easts that Matthew has isn't really helpful unless he decides to go for Hornitsu. Max doesn't really have much across the way, and on the right, Steve has a couple of Rionmen and a pair of Chun, but the hand needs more work other than that. Yeah, it does call this. Looks like the hand's going to be too slow without getting a little bit of outside help.
Yeah, unfortunate for Korak dropping the green and drawing another right after. Could have definitely looked for that, but just was unfortunate. When Steve cutting the South, uncharacteristic. Oh, it is twice cut though, so it's only really useful as a safe tile.
We do see Max's Ishanten across the table has an Anko of the Dora 7-mon. So I'm sure Max is itching to slam that Richi button. Matthew is Ishanten for Chi-Toy for 7 pairs on the left. A cheaper possible option for Matthew than Honitsu.
Max getting a form on. If he gets another, that'll slide to possible Tanya. And then could even Dama, because you won't have a Yaku with that Anko of 7-mon.
Dama Tanya Dora 3 would be Pretty gnarly. There's the final South. Ditching the 9-pin now. 9-pin fairly safe against all players, but not as safe as the South. And now we have the 4-mon, 7-mon wait for Steve, which is incredibly unfortunate for Steve, given that Max has approximately 62.5% of. But that's only approximate.
Yeah. And I'm just going to see. Well, surely if you get that last 7-mon, you just con.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And as you said, if you draw 4-mon, you discard the 1-mon.
Yeah.
Oh, that 4-mon is not useful at all to Matthew.
But giving a chance for that chi toy. Throwing that extra for the Onko. Oh, another Onko, but
just tosses it right back. Is fully committed to the chi toy.
It would have just been 1k the deal in, but it's a
Korak
little heartbreaking
Tenpai
to see. Oh, doesn't
take it.
Yeah.
Does not want to discard the 6-mon.
Oh, rewarded?
Instant
takes
reward.
the Ricci.
4-mon, 7-mon wait for Korak as well.
Oh,
and there's a 7-mon.
On the 7-mon.
It happened.
Maybe you're wishing you took that other weight now.
Flips the 6-pin as Dora, which is huge for Steve. Now Steve has tuned Dora too.
But half your weight is dead. The better half, even. Where's that? There's just one more 4-mon in the wall.
Oh, wow.
But anyone can use it.
Max.
Oh, he gets the last 4-mon. And the Dora 2 from Max. That takes him to first place over Korak because of the extra Dora and the dealer penalty.
Well, and Max had actually, it kind of looked like Max had decided to fold there. I'm sure Max had some sort of plan to get to Tenpai with all that Dora, but was discarding a very nice 7-8 so Ryanman shape. But we'll see how things go now that we have a new leader in Steve. Korak's Norths are also in Steve's hand, so a little bit of mochi mochi there, although they're less useful to Steve, so it's not unimaginable that he'd end up cutting them. Matthew across the way taking the first action, though, already pawning the Souths, has 2 Dora, and can also pawn the Tune. That could also become Toy Toy pretty easily, so a very expensive hand for Matthew. Definitely a Mongon at minimum at this point, it seems. More than likely.
It could even be Sanchoku Doko. If you believe in it hard enough.
If you believe in it hard enough and the Tune becomes your pair, I suppose. It stays your pair the whole time.
But getting it on the 5s is going to be... It's fun to think about, but it's very unlikely.
I've only ever seen Doko on like 7s and 9s, I think. Steve's hand progressing pretty well in the Pinzu. It's just we have so many Kanchans in Mon and So. So many closed weights waiting to be filled there.
Oh, he didn't foresee the Doko. The 5-so.
The 5-so is the obvious cut, so
but,
I applaud Matthew there.
I mean, it's likely at least 3 or 4 Han.
Yeah.
So it's fair enough.
Oh, is cutting the pair of 5-mon. Wants to keep the 2-3 Ryanman over having the extra pawnable pair, which makes sense as 5-mon is hard to pawn anyway.
Yeah, I mean, either of the pawnable pairs gives you that 4th Han anyway, so. Where are the Chun? They're just stuck in the wall.
Steve has made it to Ishanten with this 1 Dora hand. With the Anko of 7s, once again, it looks like it'll probably be Ricci Shinomi. There's a Ricci from Max, and this is Sanshoku. Ricci Sanshoku, 2-3-4.
Oh, but the 4-Han hand from Toyman is Tenpai. Oh, that's also Tenpai for dealer.
Could discard the 1-mon or the 5-mon.
Each.
One is safe to the Ricci. Oh,
Takes
the
it.
Patsu!
So what is up with this? We
Ricci
have had...
Patsu Dora.
This is the 3rd chasing Ricci we've seen nail a Patsu on the person who called Ricci first. I mean, I am not a very occult or superstitious player, but I would be horrified to call a Ricci at this point. Like, This is just getting absolutely bonkers. And Matthew keeps putting together these wildly expensive hands, and just none of them are winning. And that time it wasn't like a bad weight or anything. The tune was just totally dead walled. Or
So
deep walled.
unfortunate. Yeah. At least
But
they're not in last for now, but anything could happen.
Steve with the dealer repeat has a Dora 5-so, a complete shape in the Pinzu, and now a complete shape in the Monzu. Really just needs to either complete that 8-9 so shape, which is going to be troublesome, or draw next to the 4-mon so that they can get rid of it entirely. But that is Ishanten for now. Ooh, there's a 4-pin.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Matthew once again very close pretty early on. Not quite Ishanten though. Still 2 away for Matthew. Now Ishanten.
No pair yet for Max, but could get that Itsu.
Yeah, Max would really like a 3-mon, and none of those are in anyone's hand yet, so they're still somewhere.
Is Steve opting for the the less efficient shape to keep this green safe tail, but punished would have drawn the Ryamen immediately.
It always seems to happen at that tempo.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, as dealer, just keep. You don't need safe tiles, but well, you do now.
Yeah, we do have the Ricci from Max waiting on 4-mon, 7-mon. That's Ricci Pinfu. Nothing fancy about it, just a very standard little Ricci here.
Oh, just a 1-7-mon left in the wall, but that's
No, yeah, and none now. So all of Max's weights are being held.
Yeah, and Steve could very easily draw around that. Would love to get an excuse to throw that 8-9 so, or maybe just fold out as well.
Yeah, with this first place, you don't have to push super hard. The issue is Steve doesn't have a ton of tiles that look safe. That 1-so is about the best looking tile in the hand, and the 3-pin now that Korak has tossed it last turn.
Oh, is that? That's not Tenpai.
Not Tenpai.
And even then, you don't want to push against the last place Ricci.
Yeah, and no Dora. There's absolutely no value in Korak's hand, so not a whole lot of reason for him to push. Matthew now has 3 more save tiles after tossing the 4th 8-pin.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, a lot of options to get the Tenpai, just is not hitting them for Matt.
Yeah, needs what? 3-so, 4-so, 3-pin, 6-pin, 6-mon.
Yeah, hard tiles to call, but the Ricci player doesn't have a choice in throwing them. It's just not getting them.
Well, a lot of them just seem to already be cut. I mean, the 3-pin and the 6-pin are mostly in the pond.
Right.
And it ends up at Ryokyoku, and Max getting 3,000 in no 10 payments. I mean, that's honestly about the same as winning the Ricci, really.
Well, yeah, about the same as getting your minimum value. A little less because there was 1 Hamba. Now 2 Hamba and 1 Ricci stick in the board. C would love to just call the tune and get those points in the middle and just move the game along.
Yeah, that would be incredible for Steve. And Steve's hand, it does look incredibly fast. Max, though, has a lot of really, really good shapes here, and a Dora 7-mon to boot. I would not be surprised to see Max take a Tanyao here. Although there's a lot of argument to be made for just trying to build as much value as possible. Korak and Matthew's hands don't look nearly as good as Steve and Max's.
Yeah, Korak's the kind of hand that, I get to build Chanta, but it's... You don't really love to see that unless it's already made and it's not quite there.
I mean,
There's the tune.
Korak's hand is one of those hands that feels like it should have been going for Kokoshi. Just so many stranded terminals and honors.
Maybe I don't think it really started with enough, or else
Oh,
I'm sure
no.
Korak would have went for it.
No, obviously. I more mean like those times where you get in the flow of just discarding honor after honor after honor, and all you can draw is honors.
Right.
Steve though Tempai now waiting 3-mon, 6-mon. Chun Nomi.
Yeah. Max and Ishan, I was a little surprised with the early 5-mon discards because you could end up on the Furry 10. And you were gonna like call anyway. Maybe keep the 5 round for a bit longer, but maybe it won't backfire, maybe it will. But Ishanten, Dealer, Tanya, Dora. And you definitely have to like when you see that call. You have to call in kind.
6-mon, 9-mon Tempai now for Max.
Oh yeah, now that's all highlighted. At least 3 of the 9s are in Matthew's hand, so low chance of Furry 10, but there is a chance.
Oh, there's the
let's see
3-mon for Steve. And that's horrible for Max. The Oyakabari, at least, is not exceptionally high. Only had to pay 300 more points than Matthew. But with all those sticks not in the table anymore, that's going to make things just a little bit tougher for Max to escape last place here.
Yeah, he's gonna need a 3 Han 40 Ron or some kind of sumo, maybe a 330. Yeah, 330 should be enough, I think.
Since Matthew is dealer, 330 would be enough. Yes. But Steve just going to try and accelerate through this. Has a couple of really nice Ryanman shapes. Has a pair of the South.
Oh, this Mon shape for Matthew is something? I don't know. It's definitely a lot of Mon tiles. I think it's
this
Shanten.
It could just end up being like
that's
Ipeiko. That is Tempai.
What? I mean, I guess you could take the Ipeiko, Pinfu, Dora, throw the 1-mon, and that looks like what it is. A lot of overlap, and you see 1 6-mon though, but Dealer Ricci with, 2 extra Han. Obviously, you take that. Just will you draw the right tiles?
I mean, the issue is it's going to be pretty hard to play defense here. Steve tossing the Souths is switching to Tanyao. Still Ishanten taking that route. Korak, I imagine, is going to fold. Has, again, not much in hand.
Yeah, so many terminals.
Well, there's a 6-mon that's going to be locked up for forever. There's 1 6-mon left in the wall, and 2 3-mon. 8-mon coming out. 5-mon is Suji. Or it is Suji, because the 5-mon had just come out of Matthew's hand.
Right.
Max kind of following suit here. I mean, Max is, at this point, it seems like the easiest way for Max to win would be Matthew dealing into Steve, but that's not going to happen, obviously.
See, we hit any aura? No aura, but 420 sumo. Just 1,000 points away from the 30k mark, and very close to Korak with that sumo.
Well, and has dealt a pair of Haku and a Dora here. The rest of the hand incredibly inefficient. But I mean, you've already got 2 complete shapes. I mean, this is 2 away right off the bat. You can make this work.
Yeah, but there's a Mochi Mochi on the White Dragon, so.
Oh, we've seen a lot of Mochi Mochi this game as well.
Yeah, and Korak with the Dora Anko, but only a single Yakuai. At least those Yakuai are not in other players' hands, so there is time to grab those.
And as it happens, a Hanuman Sumo would be enough for Korak to take first. Because that would be a 15,400 point gain on Steve. So it would put Korak in first by 600 points, I think. So that's probably what Korak's trying to build right now.
I'd be looking to build anything. Surprisingly, throw away the double south. I would think we want to keep it around a bit longer. But maybe knowing that Steve is at the table, just throwing it away. Also throws away the green dragon, which was also not cut. Oh, and immediately punished right after. But maybe looking for more. This
Yeah,
is
the green dragons aren't really going to be a good path towards
oh,
that 6
yeah.
Han you need.
It's at least yeah, it is Ushanten. Ideally drawing the 7-pin and Ricci for the 4/7. So
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Korak really wants to make a 456 Sanshoku here. Is going to keep the safe south at this point though to be able to
oh,
push.
would have actually drawn the double south Anko. Hey, look at the discards. It's a little tragic.
Yeah, would have
And
needed that would still be 1 Han short. I mean, it would have been closed, so you could Ricci for it, of course, but
oh yeah, Ricci double south, Dora 3.
you just don't. You really expect the double south to have to be called. Steve here holding out, waiting for the Haku, does not take the Atazuke Tenpai, pawning the east. Instead, elects to keep waiting.
Korak at least gets Ryamen, Ishanten. And Steve just drew the Otozuke Chun. But still
Or
needs.
Max.
Oh yeah, Max.
Pair waiting on 6 pin. And now we have a Ricci waiting on 7 pin from Matthew. The question is, how much can people fight against this? Steve obviously going to dump East here. There's still 2 7 pin left in the wall. It's unclear.
The Shampai Chun for Korak. Will he throw it?
The 8-so was not particularly safe. Oh, Steve able to keep going towards Tenpai here. Is Ishanten is now using the 7 pin as a pair.
Yeah, it could even be used as an Anko.
Yeah, if the last one gets drawn. And now the Chun coming out because Max has tossed it.
Although, Steve would have to drop the White Dragons to have a Yaku. But, well, actually, there's only a few tiles left, so it's more about, like, if you want Tenpai or not. And is that... No, it's not even Tenpai, but...
Well, no, that was a Yaku-less sumo for Max. So no matter what Max gets on this final draw, we'll be able to discard the Chun and stay Tenpai.
Yes.
Which is very important for him.
Yeah, and now, Korak does not quite lose second place, but it was really close. But even if it was by a few hundred points, any sumo, like almost any sumo you would imagine with the extra dealer payment, would bring Korak back to second. And now they're both under 30K. So
this is why Steve is pushing so hard. I mean, Steve's hand is an absolute mess, but immediately takes the West because if he's able to sumo or Ron absolutely any hand, then paying those no-10 payments of 1,500 really gained him another 5K in Uma.
Yeah, it's a little weird of a situation because if Steve was also Tenpai, Korak would have been above 30K. Wait, what did I? No.
No, because Korak would have paid out 3,000 instead of just 1,500.
It would be if Max was not Tenpai. But because of that...
Korak's hand kind of awkward here. You do still need a Hanuman to pass Steve. The sticks in the middle are not enough for Korak to settle for a Mangan. And this hand is just not Hanuman material.
Yeah, at this point, you just want to be over 30K and secure your second.
I mean, now is Ishanten for Chitoy.
Because if you lose your second place here, then... Well, if you gain second place above 30K, you would get, like, +5 Uma from where you are now. But if someone takes away your second place, then you get a -5 Uma.
Yeah, I mean, so Korak is kind of set for a pretty huge swing here. Matthew, of course, would really like to get above 30K, just doesn't have any efficient shapes. Every single shape Matthew has is bad. This is Ishanten for Max on the left.
But that's Chito Tenpai waiting on
Gee.
Sanzo. Doesn't call Ricci.
Oh god, it could come out here, but that Nobiton shape
No,
probably
you
is
have
your
to keep the
best pair
Nobiton.
candidate. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna toss the 4-5 pin. Max could get 4-5-6 Sanshoku. Or wait, no, 5-6-7, I mean. Has 5-6-7 Mon, 5-6
Ricci, how
pin.
cut is East? It's once
Yeet.
cut.
Yeah, that's a pretty good Ricci. Ricci, Chitoi, Ipatsu, Sumo, hit a couple Ura.
Ipatsu? I mean, maybe just fold here. I mean, your hand is. Or you could also make your own Chitoi. And you
Has
do
4
once I was
pairs.
safe. Amon also safe. How likely is Matthew to deal into this?
It's all about
He doesn't have any
what
more safe
tiles keep
tiles.
coming out.
If you like draw the half Suji or the long Suji. Oh, there
There it is.
Doesn't trust it and deals in, unfortunately. Ricci Chitoi. Ura 2. Ooh.
2 Ura. So if Korak had been able to sumo that, it would have been the first place. But I'm sure Korak is more than happy to take the second here, especially with the 10K on top of it. So Steve, with the big win at the beginning of the South round, ending up at plus 29.6. Korak staying above 30K with that really nice Chitoi or a 2 there at plus 14.4. Matthew not able to climb above 30K with that last dealer run, ends up at negative 14.1. And Max just, I mean, what can you do? You call Ricci after Ricci, you get chased, you deal into a Patsu over and over and over and over again. Like, that is absolutely infuriating. So, very unfortunate for Max, ends up with the minus 29.9.
Yeah, Max was one of those. Could have had the wider weight, but chose agreed with the 5 so shoot. I wasn't paying attention if there would have been a win on the 3-6 so, but it is fair enough to like greed for that tune. It's just a little unfortunate that your other Shabo candidate is very unlikely to come out being the 5 so the middle tile.
Well, and that last hand was incredibly unfortunate too. Max had a wicked wide Ishanten for Tanyao Pinfu Sanshoku. I mean, Max's hand easily could have been a Hanuman. And with the sticks in the middle, not quite enough to reach 30K, but I mean, honestly, a Baimon wouldn't have been all too surprising if you're able to hit a couple Ura, if you're able to hit Ura on your pair with that sort of hand. So Max got what he needed in the last round, but just the sneaky Chitoi waiting on the once cut Yakuhai, or not even Yakuhai, once cut Guest Wind, ends up prevailing. And we do see here that very few people in A1 have played their games. A lot was going on this past week all over the place, so it's been hard for people to get into things. We're starting to hit a flow now. A lot of people playing games starting today all the way through Sunday. But this is giving Steve an early second. And Korak is, for now, not in 10th or 11th, which I'm sure he's happy about. But, I mean, the rankings mean absolutely nothing at this point.
Yeah. It's always good to be, like, on a good start. Then you have me. I played my 4 games, and I'm sitting at almost exactly the starting point, so it could be worse.
Yeah, you can just aim for the Saki Award.
Well,
Just
I
get
already
that
got
plus
that
minus
at the DC
0.
Open, though. Except it was not too close to that. Like -7.
But we do see
But
this game will be starting in a couple of minutes here. So we'll probably just step away very quickly, take a quick breath, and we'll be right back in at the start of that game. And our second game is off here. We see Matthew will be our first dealer, and then Steve, then Max, and then Korak. Max starting out with an Onko of West. Tosses the Haku.
I guess it is once cut, but you see that and it's like, well, I want all the excuses to go half flush here.
Yeah, it does. It does really feel like a half flush hand, especially with the Dora being 6-mon and you already having one copy of it. It's just all of the honors that Max has are getting cut, so holding them around does not feel like very good efficiency at all. Matthew, our dealer, on the other hand, has 6 blocks. This is a pretty nice hand. The 2-4 is your weakest block. You can throw that away as soon as you get to some sort of Ishanten.
I was thinking that there's a possible Sanchoku, but if you kept that alive now, it's all Kanchan, so it's like, not very inefficient, but it was kind of there.
Well, and we do see Steve taking the inefficient Sanshoku route, has 8-9 Mon, 8-9 Pin, 8-9 So. I don't know when the last time I saw someone with 3 identical Pinchan was. It's you don't see it too often. Usually at least one of those shapes is complete to start things off.
Yeah, Steve didn't really have a choice in the matter. But might be taking the more efficient route. And dealer Ryamen Ishanten as a Dora, so Richie Pin for Dora. Great if you can get it. Oh, but Max is...
There's one of the 7s for Steve. Steve Ishanten now. And Max Tempai.
4-7
7-mon, yeah.
It's a little hard to get because it is around the Dora, but is that a 50 Fu even on the Ron or Sumo? Actually, Sumo not quite 50 on the Sumo, but 3 Han 50 hand is nice to see. On the Sumo, you just get the 4 Han anyway.
There are 2 more Han in... Not 2 more Han, geez. 2 more 4 and 7 Mon. 2 more winning tiles on the wall for Max here.
Actually... Well, that's just one of each. When you said 2, I thought you meant 2 4 and 2 7, but just 1 4 and 1 7, which is not great.
Which is 2 total, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Tempai for Matthew. Wasn't drawing anything, kind of played around the Ricci a little bit and ends up getting Tempai, waiting 6-pin, 9-pin.
So there's one 6-pin for the Ipatsu, it does not happen.
Now all the 9-pin in hands. There's a 7-mon though. So Max going to pick up Matthew's Ricci stick as well as the Ricci Sumo Sha Dora. So a nice clean 9,000 extra points into Max's coffers here. Taking the early lead after the beating that was the incredibly unfortunate stream of Ipatsu's last round. And wow, look at his starting hand for Steve. Just opening up to Shanten here. And now Ishanten.
And I was going to say, there was a possibility of an interesting situation with the 3 players having 1 door each, but Max just sent it on the first turn.
Yeah, who needs it? Who needs Pay Dora, really? Max's hand looking pretty good. 2 away over there. That looks like, I mean, it really feels like Korak's going for Chitoy again here. Won a Chitoy earlier is maybe feeling a connection. But that mostly the hand is just kind of ugly. But the 4-5 was definitely the best shape there.
Was probably looking to call West and wait Dora Tonki, but with the Dora twice out, and West is the Dora indicator, so it's very hard to get that because there's only 1 more, and that other one could also be the dead wall.
So far, though, willing to hold it. Steve tossing the 9-pin back. Does not consider that an improvement on shape. It's keeping this quasi-headless Ishanten. The 4-so can pretty easily become the head here.
I think I would like keeping the 9-pin just to maybe get that Ipeko. It's you do really want to turn that hand to Itsu, but at this point you just accept your Tenpai.
Well, there's not really a lot of ways to turn it into Itsu. Yeah, now we have Tenpai. How do we take it? Discards the 2-pin, gonna stay Dama for now. There are a lot of better pair candidates in this hand. You can't win this Dama though, and that's one of them.
A 4-7 pin, but you have all the 7 pins.
You
You
do.
just Dama the pin two.
Each.
Oh, but Ricci's.
Yeah, it's gonna take it.
Oh, and actually, the last 7 pin was on the table, so just 3 4-pin from what they could see, but just 1 4-pin in the wall.
But that 4-pin could be used as Max's pair here. Max is Ishanten.
Yeah. And generally you wouldn't really expect with a 2-3 Rhiannon throw to be waiting on the 4-pin, but Max can just keep those 4-pin.
Yeah, it does look like Max is at least starting with a fold here.
Yeah, and there are lots of middle tiles to fold with from Steve's pond.
Not a terribly difficult hand to play defense against. Unless you're Matthew, perchance, and you're holding almost exclusively so tiles. But even then, it still has material to toss.
Yeah, the Ricci, well, if it gets people to fold, it's a good one. That way.
Yeah, it's not a particularly scary Ricci with all the Dora being gone. It's just the fact that it came from dealer, and there was such a long hesitation before the Ricci, makes you wonder what the thought process was. And you see that they discarded a Rhiannon out of hand. And yeah, we're just going to go to exhaustive with Steve, the only person Tenpai, getting Steve back up to 30k. So there is now a Ricci stick and a Honba in the middle, going into East 2. And Steve with a pretty great dealer hand here. Perhaps one too many pairs, but 3 pairs is not awful when it's your high.
Correct, getting Chitoi Ishanten.
Oh wow, including that's not Dora. Dora's Haku, not the tune.
Matthew with the unconventional. Well, I guess depending, it makes people think. Oh, they cut 6 so at the start. What are they doing?
That hand is just so freaking efficient already. Also, not quite Ishan. No, Ishanten. That's definitely Ishanten. Yeah, you can discard the 3-pin and 4-pin's your pair. So I mean, both Korak and Matthew being dealt Ishantens kind of peculiar here. Steve also Ishanten before the end of the first row.
And Korak's first discard, would have been that last pair. Still stuck in Ishanten Hill for now.
That's something you have to be.
Each.
And do you take the East or the Suji Trap one so? And the answer is Suji Trap one so. Well, and Matthew immediately tossing the 4.
It is a safe tile.
Yeah, it is a safe tile, but it also makes it incredibly hard for Matthew to push. Steve now waiting 7-pin 7-mon.
Oh no, Matthew has the Dora, and it's just the ones cut from him, so incredibly hard to push that hand. I mean, if you were going to, that just throws it out. Never mind. You don't wait on Dora.
I mean,
especially not a Chitoi.
Oh man, there's another 4-mon. Or 4 so, I mean.
Yeah, it does look a little weird. It's not like, I don't know if that would be considered to be a super obvious Chitoi. It's starting with 2 pins, maybe it's sufficient, but
the 4-so, 8-so Tadashi, I think, makes it a little bit more suspect. And then the East coming out so late. Your first Tadashi was the 2-pin. You Tadashi'd 4-so, 8-so in the middle. And then the East comes out of your hand. What you playing at?
Yeah, I feel like yes, East is non-cut, but it makes the other place. Oh, that would have been the sumo on the East, assuming people did not throw the East when they drew it as well. Yeah, I would have liked the East, especially since there is plausible Chitoi read on those discards, I guess. Just take the tile with better chance of sumo.
Yeah, I mean there was one more left, I suppose. Well,
And so 2 1-sos, yeah. Not been drawn at all.
Tenpai for Matthew now.
Oh, and there it is.
Oh,
Not
sumo!
quite the high pay, but yeah, you'll take it. Reaching Sumo Chitoi. No Ura 2, but that is not quite first place, but getting there.
Well, and it puts you in a much more comfortable position. Everybody's
Yeah.
still right there together right now, but you definitely want to be on the above 30k side of things. And we have another dealer hand that is starting out Ishanten. I mean, just a beautiful draw here for Max. The only big issue is the only floater in your hand is the Dora 7-so.
Yeah, I'm looking for excuses to make this 567 Sanchoku.
Matthew has 9 distinct terminals and honors. Not entirely sure what they're going to do with that yet.
Not starting with the 2 Sansan to make people think something is suspicious. Well,
Gee.
there's one of your 5s to get to the 567 Sanchoku. But if you just get the 6, then you're 10 by. You could Dama. Maybe look for it. Actually, well. No,
I don't know that you well, it'd be
you
Pinfu
can't
Dora.
really look for it.
Pinfu Dora Tanyao.
Because like your improvement of getting the 5 pin is just you just win off of that. So yeah.
We do see Horak is 2 away here. Has one too many shapes. Ooh. This could become Chanta and will tosses form on. It's not guaranteed Chanta since 4-pin can also be accepted into this hand,
Yeet.
but I'm sure that's what Korak's angling for. We have the Ricci from
Home.
Steve waiting 4-pin, 7-pin.
Ooh,
That's
Dora 2.
Yeah, Ricci Pinfu Dora 2, possibly Peiko. Subo on the 7-pin if you got yourselves a Hanuman. We do see Korak pushing. Not much else to do. Oh, but the 1-pin is going to come out.
Expensive end. Shanta South.
The expensive 2K end. Really just a good way to avoid an even harsher Oyakabari from Steve. I mean, if Steve sumos that hand, it's going to be at least 4K from Mac. So a good dodge there by dealing into Korak's 2K.
I guess you could say that, but it's like, well, on the manga and sumo, you pay 2K more than everyone else. But there was definitely potential for that to be a Hanuman sumo, which would have been even worse.
Right. Korak not blessed with a very good hand here. I mean, Korak's had a lot of garbage. Korak has had a couple of very beautiful hands, but it has been very feast or famine for Korak here. Like, we're 4 discards in, and we still have 158 as our entire Manzu suit. And the first new tile we draw into that suit is the 9-mon. Like, this is just not fun. Matthew, on the other hand, has a lot to work with in the Manzu. Probably part of why Korak doesn't have any. Still a couple of unfortunate shapes with the 8-9-mon and the 7-9 pin.
Yeah, Max's hand looking really good, actually, with a good amount of Rionman. Gets another one and 2 Dora. Could also get Ipeiko. It's fairly slim. There's one more 1-so for that.
And then Steve is 2 away with a fairly normal hand. Either looking at kind of like a Chun Nomi or Ricci Nomi or Ricci Chun, something to that effect.
Yeah, getting an improvement for that. Yeah, Rionman, Ishanten for Ricci Nomi. Although you could still just draw the Chun and make the 2-pin your pair.
Matthew throwing away one of those less favorable shapes now, tossing the 7-9 pin.
And correct, still just like getting Garge. I guess even just like prematurely folding, throwing out those middle tiles.
Yeah.
Keeping some safe tiles for later.
I mean, it's turn 12. It's turn 12, and even if Korak had kept the most possible efficient tiles that he had drawn, would still be 3 Shanten. Like,
Ooh.
this is just a very bad hand. Steve still one away, drew the Anko of the tune finally.
Yeah, decided to keep the 8 mana as a pair instead. Get 2 Onkos, which fair enough. Although, was that a backfire? Not really. I guess maybe.
No, it wasn't. We have the Ricci from Matthew waiting 2-mon, 3-mon. This is Ricci Tanya.
And that's none in the
Gee.
wall.
Home.
Max
Could have been. Could have think about that.
No.
Oh,
deals in. Takes the pawn to advance the hand. Take a pretty nice Ishanten and just ends up dealing right into Matthew. It's another cheap one though, so even with 2 consecutive deal-ins, Max still above 30k.
yeah.
Matthew now nipping at Steve's heels.
Max did at least have the 2-door. Might have been an Onko, but I did not see. So you definitely see why it was called. But for 2600, if that was a Mongon, it's like it's fair enough.
We have a pair of Haku for Matthew here, and drawing that 1-mon, making this hand a little bit more available. We have 4 pairs, could become Chi-Toy, could become Toy-Toy. Chi-Toy would be particularly nice if you're able to pair up that East. Oh, there's another 7, so...
I mean, the East is getting killed off, though.
Yeah, it just started getting discarded. There's a pair of the Hatsu in Steve's hand. And a very nice Kanchan fill with that Forso. It's got to decide what to throw away, and it's going to toss the 9-mon.
Home.
Steve is now Ishanten. And we have an early call from Matthew here.
Possible Toy, but likely Autozuke on the White Dragon, which not Mochi Mochi this time, just has not been drawn yet.
Each.
And now we have a Kanchan fill for Yoshi, waiting on 1-mon, 4-mon. So this is Ricci Pinfu. Let's see if he can pull this one out. Korak missing a 5-pin and 7-pin for Itsu over there, but discarded the 7-pin Genbutsu to Max. So playing it a little bit safer.
Matthew gets that White Dragon they were looking for. And this Ricci is a little sad, actually, because there's only the 1-1 left in the wall.
Now all the 4-mon being eaten up.
Yeah, 2 in the pond, just 2 just in Steve's hand.
Steve electing to toss the live Hatsu.
And there's Tenpai. Oh.
No.
And immediately deals in.
Just 2k, but also doing the stick as well.
Well, and now that is the third cheap hand that Max has dealt into in a row, which is finally enough to bring them underneath 30k. It's now only 800 up on Matthew for second place.
Yeah, if a 1-mon did come out, there was a possibility of double Ron, but did not happen. Now pays Dora. 1 in Korak's hand, 1 in Max's hand. Max has the pair of Hatsu to make use of that.
Matthew's hand, though, not terribly efficient. A couple of bad shapes at the edges here. Really wants to draw around that 5-pin and the 6-0. That's a slight improvement, getting rid of a pinch on now. But luckily, not a lot of efficient hands otherwise. Like Korak's hand is not terribly efficient. That 8, though, is a nice draw. You'd really like to get 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku out of that.
Yeah, it like kind of wants to be Chanta. 7, 8 just fills in, throws a green dragon, but gets a nice fill in. It's a little hard to actually make it Sanchoku.
Yeah, you need to draw either more 9-mon or more 9-so. To make things work a little bit nicer. And you're going to be racing Max, who did open on the Hatsu.
Yeah, and keeping the pay around, which if Max gets Tenpai on that, could be deadly.
Steve, it feels like, is going for a trademark non-Tonki here. I just feel, Tosses it now. Draws the
Yeah.
6-mon, has a better possible pair shape here. Ends up getting rid of it.
Who could get the no? I don't. I guess if you drew a 6-pin, you could get the Intotsu weight for Steve, but more ideally wants another 4. Well, it would be like a 3-6 so weight with another overlap.
Tenpai for Max waiting on 7-mon. 2 of those are held in hand, 2 in the wall.
Oh, and the door gets bailed out. Oh, that is Tenpai for Steve.
Takes it. And that's even Pinfu.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, you might miss the Pinfu, but Steve knew to get the Pinfu. Oh, 3 8-pin in the dealer's pawn, but still one more. Well, as far as actually being more, there's just 2 5-pin in the wall.
Well, and now we have Tenpai on the left for Korak waiting on 3-so Tanki, although that is Yakulus.
Yeah.
And immediately exits Tenpai, or no, is 1-4-so.
I'll just drew
Yakulus.
back into it.
No, what it's just a shifting Tenpai. that was technically a sumo, but no Yaku. Just people doing a little dance here.
Sumo on the last tile.
Oh, was that Haite?
Yes, Sumo Pinfu Tanya.
One
No
Ura
Ura,
Hanuman
but
doesn't get it.
So to go from the sad 420 Sumo to the Mangan, you'll take that. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And this is the second time that right at the beginning of the South round, Steve coming through with a massive sumo.
Yeah, and this dealership, hand's not looking great.
Neither does anybody else's. Matthew probably has the best hand at the moment. A lot of simple shapes, a couple of complete blocks, and by a couple, I mean one. But a lot of conchons around the table.
Yeah, either Matthews or Max's hand looks the best to me.
The Dora 3-pin not being used a lot yet, but almost everyone can accept them.
See, might almost, yeah. Almost be like forced to go with the Chi toy. Unfortunately, through the 9-mon, so can't foresee the Sanchoku Doko, but oh well.
That is the classic Sanshoku Doko foresight there. We see Max has 6 blocks, so still 2 Shanten, just needs to cut away a block. Is running with a little bit of thinness at the moment.
Okay, that is Ishanten from Max. Won't have a Pinfu, but Ricci with the Dora and a 2-sided weight is always nice.
Especially from this position. I mean, a nice, even a 4K sumo here gets you above 30,000 and puts you into your dealership very, very close to first place. I mean, this is an incredibly tight game at this point. We also have Ishanten on the left for Matthew.
And Steve getting Ishanten for that Chi toy. How long will it be stuck there?
Could be a
it's
while,
Tenpai for
although...
Korak slams the Ricci Dora 3 for the 4-mon.
Yeah, no waiting around for improvements from Korak. Just immediately taking it. Does not want to miss any opportunities to win this. And the 4-mon immediately drawn into Max's hand.
Yeah, I would imagine it would come out if it wasn't a Ricci, but Korak would not have been Tenpai without a Yaku.
G.
with the Yaku. And now you see his 2-4-1 out. But it's Richidora 3. You gotta slam it.
Well, and this is Tempai as well for Matthew waiting on the Dora. Which we can see them all, so there's no way it's coming out.
Yeah, and that
might be able to hold for K10 here, and Tempai for Max on the right. Waiting 3-mon. No Yaku.
4-mon.
And it is Furiton.
I know. Decides to full it out with Sanzo. It would have been a devastating deal for at least Mongon. Let's see. Yeah, we see all the 4-mons, so Correct will get his Ryukyu payments.
Chitoi Tempai for Steve, if Steve is willing to discard Hatsu, and does. Yeah, and now the Hatsu's going to come out from Matthew. The 9-pin, a little bit of Sotagawa. Well, and now we have everybody Tempai except for Matthew, so widening out that gap a little bit between everyone else and last place. Things still very close, though. And Matthew actually opening up Chitoi Ishanten, but that includes a pair of Haku and a pair of Chun, so you might want more than Chitoi with that hand.
Yeah, force the Toy Yakuai 2.
That would be a Mongon.
Or just Daisangen, confirmed.
I mean, the only other Hatsu is in Steve's hand right now, so we're going to see this Chun Palm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now does the Hatsu come out at once?
It does.
Test the waters.
But
still time for Matthew to draw the others. Korak's hand does not look terribly efficient. Max's hand does not look terribly efficient. A couple of several edge shapes there, although the 2-3 Ryanman and so is nice.
Oh, there's a White Dragon. And decides not to greed for the show song.
I mean, you could have greeted a little bit, right?
Like a little bit, yeah. Just throw the 2-mon.
Yeah, you could toss the 2-mon. Just accept that you're gonna either take the Toy Mongon or Show Songen. Guarantee yourself the big hand.
Especially if you're not gonna chi the 1-mon.
Right. Well, because if you chi the 1-mon, your hand becomes so cheap.
Not if you force the half flush, but
that's true. But
that's a little forcing it.
Inefficient. People having a chance to catch up here.
If anything, it wouldn't be necessarily out of greed. You just want to keep the Hatsu actually just for like a safe tile. And then if you get Shosangen, then you take that, of course. Oh,
Con.
Oh, is that?
And flips the Hatsu as the Dora.
I mean, well, you have to draw it yourself. Like, no one's going to throw that into you. But still, that would make your safe tile into a dangerous tile. Someone's waiting Chitoi on it, which is one way to get around having to throw that Hatsu out.
I mean, Steve is Ishanten here. Tosses the 4-pin. It's safe against Korak and Matthew, keeping the East, which will likely be safe against everyone later. Although it's only once cut, and we've seen a couple of once cut honors deal in already this round. Matthew's hand is very scary. I mean, Matthew's only done 3 Tadashi this entire time. 5-so, 6-so Hatsu are the only Tadashi Matthew has thrown. Steve getting the East is very nice.
Could have taken Tempai, but would have to throw a Mon tile. And yeah. Be Furiton, but I like taking
finally Tempai for Matthew. 8-so 3-mon. Pair of 3-mon in Steve's hand. 8-so stranded in Max's hand. And that would be a pretty bad deal.
Oh, no. You had to caster curse him.
I'm sorry, Max. I didn't mean to. But a great win for Matthew. Puts him barely above 30K and steals 3rd place.
Is that, was that Tempai from Max?
Tempai?
When he dealt in.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure Max had Tempai. Oh, he was still Ishanten? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Boom.
It's a little unfortunate, yeah.
We never saw any more of those Hatsu come up either. The other two Hatsu were nowhere to be seen. But we're going into South 3 here. Max really needs to win this.
Getting a second Dora is nice to see, but if you
I
can
mean-
get the closed Junchan Sanchuku, that'd be great. However,
The problem is this is such an unstable Junchan. You don't feel super safe opening for it because there's so many ways this hand could grow into not Junchan, and you don't want to squander your Dora. Might
but
consider it
does
here
it?
though. Does take it. Well, you don't necessarily have to force the Junchan. You could just get Sanshoku, and is tossing the 9 pin towards that end. If you were gonna force Junchan, you probably toss 6 mon or 4, so either one. But leaving options open, need as many ways to win this hand as possible. Steve, though, is an expert at choking people out, so if Steve draws helpful tiles, might withhold them.
I kind of like forcing the Junchan in this situation because, like, if you ended up with a third 1 pin, then you can use it that way. And keep the 9 pin as your pair. As is, see, 8 pins. 3. Oh, just draw one of them. And 9 so.
So now Ishanten, I mean, 2 of the 9 so are in Matthew's hand, who is building a Honitsu over there. Does not take a call on the 8 so. Wants as much maneuverability in the hand as possible.
And one of the 9 so is in Korak's pond. It's like, I guess you'll take oh, there's
Atazuke.
Yeah. One more 9 so in the wall. Oh,
And
yeah.
if you hadn't thrown the 1 so earlier, then you're still Atazuke, but at least your winning tile would be Sanshoku Junchan Dora 2, as opposed to just the Sanshoku.
Oh, the last 9
Dora
goes
2.
into Matthew's hand.
Well, and that, well, shouldn't come out. So we have 5, 6, 7. Yep, waiting on 3 so now. So that's Tempai for Matthew. For a classic Bakahon.
There's a lot of food there.
I mean, can
What do you even switch to for?
Yep. Now has another Han.
So now it's no longer Bakon. See, 2 Sansa left
Also,
on the wall for that.
No, can still only win on 3 so. I'm getting confused because Max can win on 6 so, 9 so.
Chi.
We got a Chi, and then
that's
Korak
6
dropping the
so.
5 so, which is safe against Matthew.
Yeah, 6 so won't deal in unless it drops it at the last discard, which would be very unsafe.
I mean, it would be very funny. Steve, no reason to drop the 3 so, can use it.
Yeah, not even sure if they will get.
Decides not to reach it and actually doesn't throw the 1 pin either. Is too worried about Max having a Chanta or Junchan possibly there. Does not want to toss live Dora into that.
Right. Oh, this is. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if they would end in the place where they could throw the 6 so and it'd be a Yaku, but just gets the Chun anyway.
And that ends up being a pretty important hit on Steve, because now Matthew only 900 behind. After Steve loses the 3K. Korak in first still. Now has a little bit more of a lead, a little bit more of a spread. Max as dealer having a pair of the Haku, no Mochi Mochi. Those days might be over for us here tonight.
It
After
might
seeing
be.
so many.
And this hand also kind of wants to be the, well, I guess Chanta in this case.
I mean, you have 5 Chanta blocks already.
Yeah. Just a little sad throwing that green dragon and drawing another one soon after. Ooh,
there has been a lot of
Ipeko.
that sadness. Oh, an incredible draw.
Yeah, Ishanten could even wait on Sanzo. your close, Chanta, Ipeko,
1
reaching for a fourth Han.
Korak taking the 7 pin. Going to go for Tanyao here. Both of those 9 pins going to come out. Yeah, we see that 3 pin come out of Max's hand. If Max draws another 1 mon, I'm sure we'll see the Haku dumped. Although I guess he could dump one of the more inefficient 1-so, 2-so, 7-so, 9-so shapes.
Could even go full greed and just dump the souls for.
Does draw the Dora, which Max will keep. That 3 mon, an incredible draw for Matthew. Is Tempai trying to side a weight?
Ooh.
Taking the 4-so only, but there's a lot of improvements to this hand. Lots of ways that Matthew can end up with a better weight here, and that's one of them.
Could have taken the Notan. This would be the 3
リーチ
pair weight, 258, right?
Well, you could also take
Or-
if you take the 258 weight, then it's Richie Nomi.
Oh,
Richie Dora 1. Oh, yeah, that had to be a timeout. Got stuck thinking. I mean, if you toss 8-so there or 5-so.
This is actually a Cheeto. It's not Chanta waiting on the Dora.
Cheetoy wait. All right, so we have Cheetoy waiting on Dora from Max, which there is 1 of those left in the wall. We see Korak Tempai on 6 mon with Tanyao Dora 1, and the 4 mon gonna come into Matthew.
That was also the Dora indicator.
One.
That was the last one.
The hell, wait,
the Russian
Nakabukure.
donkey.
Oh my god.
Oh.
The timeout not getting punished for Matthew there. That could have been such a beautiful hand. And it still would have won on the 4-so. So Max would have dealt in either way. I mean, if
I thought it was going to be
Matthew chooses Pinfu,
2.
it was one of the chances. You could take 258, which would be Richie Dora 1, or you could take a slightly worse weight where your weight 147, which I guess really isn't a worse weight, but the 4 is already eaten up a lot. 147, where 1-4 give you Pinfu and 7 doesn't, or something like that.
Yeah, I just didn't see that shape there.
It was an awkward one, but now we're in all last. Things are very tight for the top 3. Max, unfortunately, in another last place here, very early on. We see 4 pairs for Korak. Just keeps getting forced into Cheetoy. We have seen more Cheetoys at this table than I think we've seen in all of like the previous season in A1.
Yeah, it's a shame. Oh, no. It can make the choice here. Do you even have a choice at this point?
I mean,
it
the
still
7
has
pin,
Rionman.
Right, you can still kind of dance around here, but you're 3 Shanten. You're 3 Shanten for a normal hand and E Shanten for Cheetoy. It really feels like that's what this hand is just going to be.
Oh, nice hand for Matthew on the right. If they can get the double south, they'll also have 2 Dora for Mongon. Could have went for the greedy half flush route, but decides to get the use the pin Rionmans.
Korak does seem to be committing to the Cheetoy.
Oh, there's the
and
south.
there's the south. And you don't even, So you're Ishanten, you can take any win here, and Matthew will be first.
Yeah. You draw the 5 pin, you get the nice 3-sided weight, but something I never really thought about is that yes, it's the potential for a 3-sided weight, but it's a lot harder to get to Tenpai because of the overlap than 2 other separate Rionman.
It is. It has the potential better final weight, just harder to get there, less efficient on the road.
Chi.
Steve taking the Chi, so it's going to be Ishanten for Tanyao here. Can still get Sanshoku as well, a 4-5-6 specifically. There's Tempai for Matthew, 5 pin, 8 pin, and the 5 pin might come out. There it is. Well, and that's gonna drop Steve below 30K. That's huge. So a massive win for Matthew there.
Yeah, and a slight benefit for Max not getting it would be minus 20 Uma for 3 above 30, right?
Yes, correct. And with Steve falling below 30K as well, it's just going to be minus 15K. So really, Max winning 5,000 points on Steve's deal in there. But Matthew with the 28 point first place with that steal in the very last hand. Korak at plus 11.6, another respectable second. Steve at minus 11, which is enough for Steve to stay in the positives for now, and Max unfortunately taking the hit once again at minus 28.6. Just, I mean, nothing breaking Max's way, it seems.
Yeah, sometimes Mahjong is just like that. Hopefully the other two games will go better for them, but I believe that would be tomorrow instead of today. We're
Yes.
going to go to some other matches.
Let's see. The C1 table is part of the way through their second game here. The B2-6 table will be starting their second Hanchan. And then B2-2 is also playing. I believe this is their first Hanchan. So I say let's go to either of the B2 tables. If we watch the B2-6, we can catch the entirety of that Hanchan, not come in the middle, and then maybe still have a chance to catch whoever is on after that. If we want to go that route.
I think that's fine. Yeah, we can take a small break.
That game will be starting in 4 minutes. So at around X58, according to whatever your time zone is, 2 minutes before the top of the hour, around that time is when we'll be coming back. So see you shortly. And we are jumping back in here. We are now looking at table B26, and
Hooray.
this features Charlie, Gauhan, Blaine, and Kayla. And our first dealer here is Charlie.
It's gonna say, I think Blaine was in the playoffs, right? It was like -89 after one game, but those scores do not add up. So it was not a great fourth, but it's not as bad as it looks.
Right. That there's just a little bit of shenanigans going on the back end because of our preseason show. Whoops. But don't worry, Blaine's last was not all that bad, as Dustin says here. We do have a potential Tanyao. Kind of hard for this hand to become much else. You could get Ipeko if you're able to draw 4-so twice or 7-so twice.
And Gohan, could get. Oh, I thought there was Chitoi Tenpai, but not quite Tenpai yet.
Is Ishanten for it though? But that also is perfectly fine to become a normal hand. I mean, if you draw 6-0, you might Dama for a second in the hopes that you end up with a normal.
Yeah, I guess if I don't even know, it's like such a weird-ish shape. I would like keep the Tuso to like maybe get an Itsu, but I don't know. It's like kind of not. I don't think that it's really an option. But it's like you think it's an option because of all those so tiles.
Blaine now has 4 pairs, and Blaine also has 2 of the Dora. Looks like a possible hard commit to Chicho here could actually go Chanta as well. We see Tenpai for Charlie, waiting on the 3-mon.
Oh,
After the 3-so pawn.
Go for the Toy. Yeah, saves from dealing in. And those pairs are callable enough, except for the Dora, but I would have liked to keep that true. Now it's like 0 cut. That's a way to like get a Yaku without having to get Toy.
Charlie gets a weight upgrade, draws the 5-mon, now has the 3/6/9 weight. The 9 would not be a Yaku, but the 3/6 is more alive anyway, or at least as far as Charlie can tell. We, of course, can see 3/3-mon in Blaine's hand across the way.
Yeah, Blaine's
Kayla has also made a Tanyao shift on the left.
Blaine's Ishaden, so could just Richi Dora 2. Doesn't have to force a Yaku.
Sumo.
Oh, just 6 for Tanyo Nomi.
500 all. After seeing so many fireworks in that A1 game, it's kind of therapeutic to just see 500 all. Like, that feels very relaxing. Nobody was hurt all that much.
Yeah.
Nobody gained that much. Charlie starting with a Dora and a pair of Hatsu, so could make something out of this hand.
Yeah, this hand will be worth at least twice as much.
But around the table, it looks like Blaine has a pretty good hand across the way. Really, the only bad shape there is the 4/6 Kanchan. I mean, that could even turn into a Holnitsu, according to how greedy Blaine wants to be. And that 5-so draws a good step in that direction. I mean, you probably toss the 4/6-mon naturally anyway here.
Yeah, the only thing is
Ooh,
that the
tossing the
2/3
first.
Dora.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I wasn't really considering the 6-mon as Dora. I was thinking of the 6-mon as just like a part of a bad shape. But I guess Dora's still Dora.
Yeah, and this is 4 pairs as well. So you draw that Dora, you get the Chitoi Dora to Ishanten.
Ooh, you see Charlie drawing the 3rd Hatsu here. Is Ishanten, but not a Ishanten that uses the Hatsu. Would have to discard well, I guess you could discard 8-mon or 9-mon. And then you would have a Tanki, and does elect to start there. Can just wait for a better Tanki, or could extend one of the other shapes for a better weight. We'll see. Another Sotile in Blaine's hand. Ah, there we go. Now you have the 4/7.
Improvement.
It made a lot of sense in this case. Now we have Richi Hatsu Dora 1. Oh.
Just
that
the trouble.
4-mon
Oh
is
no!
so naturally going to come out of Blaine's hand. I don't think
It's like
we didn't have to discard it now. Maybe one of
yeah,
the upper
it
Sozu that you're using so much of would have been better, but
it just should have come out a long time ago. Just if you're like foreseeing that, if you're gonna keep that Dora, like you're foreseeing the Chi Toy Dora 2 Ishanten, then you get rid of it because it's near the door. It's very dangerous, but it's a little unfortunate to get that on the Ipatsu turn as well.
Charlie going into second repeat. We're not getting out of East 1 quite yet. Not a lot of very good shapes here. And by not a lot of very good shapes, I mean the 7-8 pin might be the only good shape in this hand. Perhaps. Much more going on in the hand to the right, which is Gaohan. Ishanten, as a matter of fact, over there. And does have a Dora in hand. Blaine's hand is kind of awkward.
Blaine's kind of wants to be the so I need to even accept through the one so through honor tiles.
Ooh, a great draw for Gaohan there.
Yeah, more likely to get a Pinfu or at least a Pinfu option with this shape.
Each.
When that, yeah,
There
Rishi,
we
Pinfu,
go.
possibly Ipeco, except Blaine has all the Ipeco outs.
Oh my god. Well, all of the outs are being held. We see all 4 Forso, 2 in Blaine's hand, 2 in Kayla's hand. And then, as you said, all the 7 so are in Blaine's hand. I mean, you really don't expect a wide open Rionman like that to be totally held on turn 7.
If I was planning to be the one so the Shinitsu Toy Toy even.
I mean, we would still be three tiles off of that, even if we still had the one so.
Yeah, but after taking that big deal in and just, having those blocks, but now you just kind of have to fold.
The issue is just going to be what kind of folding material you have. We see the 6-0 Nakasuji coming out from Kayla on the left. She is Ishanten. No, she is not. That was a lie. I'm a liar. Now she's Ishanten, according to what she discards. The safe 3-so. Yes, that is Ishanten.
It's like that hand almost wants to be 3-4-5 Sanchiku even, but getting that 3-4-5 would make you deal in on the 4-so. So having good, because of the way they cut, will not deal in, probably.
More than likely. It really feels like the 4-so is the pair in that hand. I mean, that is Tanyao Dora 1 currently.
Each.
And now we have the chase from Dealer, waiting 3-pin 8-so. And that is a much more live weight. There's actually still 2 8-so left on the wall.
Just the 2 8-so, but at least there is a weight in the wall. 2 is infinitely more than 0.
Sumo.
Oh, and the Sumo.
It just grabs it. So Richi Sumo, no Ura. With the 2 Honba is 1200 all, and now we are in our 3rd repeat. And that was such a nasty hand to start. Really surprised that Charlie ended up being the one to win that. It was just everybody really had Gaohan's tiles locked up. And now we have an incredible starting hand for Charlie.
Yeah, it looks very good. Could even, if you get a White Dragon, you could just force the half flush, just get more and more points, because why not? Oh, and another Sotile. It's a 5-mon.
I mean, it's kind of headed that way. There's a pair of Hatsu in Blaine's hand, so Blaine could challenge this for speed. This is Ishanten for Blaine.
Yeah. With that 7th, so Blaine could eventually get to the Chanta Sanchoku.
Home.
Oh, the south.
Yep, Charlie going for the Honitsu here.
Yeah, still just 2 Shanten. White Dragon hasn't been cut yet. It's a good way of talking on that for Hanitsu Dora 2.
1
Kayla actually Ishanten for a Pinfu hand. Very unlikely to become Itsu given all of the 9-pin that are out already. And that,
Con.
and with that 4-pin draw, could there's a con! It draws the 9-so off of it and flips the 7-so as Dora.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Crazy con! Absolutely.
Yeet.
Well, now Kayla definitely wants to be able to chase. Oh, but we get the not Dora Ricci, Blade waiting 1-mon Hatsu. A little bit of a Sotagawa trap there on the 1-mon. There's one of each left in the wall, and one of each in Galhan's hand. Pretty easy to see to imagine the Hatsu coming out at some point here. Ooh.
Well,
Dora came out the first round from Blaine after the Ricci.
Hatsu isn't cut at all, though, so...
Correct. It is live, so that does make it a
Oh.
little bit tougher. I mean, it looks like Galhan is just going to be
Yeah.
full folding here, it seems.
Charlie full sent the 5 first, although I guess you would think the 8-mon would be safer. But with the Hanitsu Dora 2 on the table, you definitely... Oh, that's Tenpai.
That's Tenpai.
6-9.
609, so absolutely. And that is a very live weight. I mean, we only see 2 9-so and 1 6-so. So still 5 of those left in the wall. Kayla
Yeah.
can use them, so Kayla wouldn't deal in. Blaine wouldn't have a choice but to deal in.
There's just 1-1-1, 1 green left in the wall. At least there's a chance, but it's looking like there might be another Hamba, most likely. But we'll see what happens.
Galhan has been doing a good job of folding. The
Yeet.
Earth will almost certainly chase here. Yep, discarding 6-mon. So this is Ricci Tanyao Pinfu, Dora 1, waiting 5-mon, 8-mon, which a lot of those are in the pond.
Yeah, just 2 8. Well, 2 8-mon not visible, just 1 8-mon in the wall. Oh, this could you switch here?
No.
Really. I mean, oh, that's
That's not Tenpai anymore, yeah.
oh, but Blaine gets a last
Sumo!
Hatsu. Definitely needed that after the Zealands. A no
Oh,
aura,
yeah.
unfortunately, even with 2 indicators, but at least you get Ricci 6 donations.
Yeah, still in last, but you've narrowed the gap considerably. You don't feel near as far behind now as you did before. And now it is Galhan's dealership. Not
Well-
an incredible hand, but not as bad as some we've seen tonight. Does have the Dora 5-pin in the middle of a complete shape. A pair of Sanso is always comforting. Makes you feel safe and fuzzy. And now a
Yeah,
pair of Hatsu.
that's all you need. Hatsu Dora.
ポン
And it just comes right out after pairing it up.
Charlie is still 2 away on the left. But now Ishanten. Got a headless Ishanten for Charlie on the left. Really wants to draw 8-so so that you could have Ricci, Tanyao, Pinfu. No Dora, but would still be an incredible hand. Yeah, and it's actually going to toss that 8-9 pinch on now with the 3-mon in hand. And Galhan going to take the 3-mon, 6-mon Tenpai. So unless Charlie pairs up the 3-mon or 6-mon, could be in a pretty dangerous situation.
Yeah, filling in the Ryaman would be fine as well, but getting another pair. But if Charlie gets a 7 or 2, might just slam the 3-sided, potentially Furriton Ricci.
Well, we see Blaine also a little bit stranded here. It's going to be hard to use all of the 3-mon and 6-mon in that hand. Going to be a minute before Blaine deals in, though.
Oh, Blaine could avoid dealing in by just drawing the 4-mon and using the 6-mon as the pair. But will that happen? Is 2 4-mon available for that?
There's a Dora 5-pin. This is Tenpai for Charlie. I feel like this is...
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Elected to stay Dama, waiting on 4-pin. Not a very good weight, but just deals in instead. So a little bit of that lead chipped away at. Galhan now approaching 30k in East 2 Homba 1. So we'll have to see if everybody gets a Homba this round. This could be a very long game. I mean, their first game, I believe, was 48 minutes. So this is going to be quite the exhausting night for them, even though they're only playing 2 Hanchan.
How many terminals is that for Caleb? But start with the 1 mon, so not getting the Kokshi.
Yeah, doesn't want to force it quite yet.
I think there was, I want to say 8 or 9.
Yeah, it was 8 plus a pair. Is probably now regretting it a little bit with that Haku draw. But it made sense. The shapes in hand weren't great, but they weren't the worst ever either. Like, they weren't hopeless.
But yeah, it's
and then we have 2 away for Charlie on the left. A lot of nice shapes in that hand. Unfortunately, the 2-3-so and the 5-6-so overlapping a little bit, making it a little bit harder to get to Tenpai.
Ishanten for the dealer now just would love to draw the 7-so for Richi, Pinfu, Dora.
And Ishanten for Blaine as well. No good weights possible yet, but could still shift that around.
Or just get a Dora 2.
Charlie cannot use the Dora yet, is the only issue there. At least Galhan can make it a pair.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about yeah, Gohan did get the pair. Is what I noticed.
Oh, I see. Charlie also drew a Dora, I think possibly the same round. Now do you toss 8-pin to an, or do you want the possibility of the Dora Champon? Is gonna toss the 6-so. Just toss it right back.
Yeah, it could get another 7-pin and get a Rionman, but unfortunately threw it earlier, but it was probably efficient at the time.
And so we've come to a little bit of a standstill around the table here. Oh, and there's the 9-pin. That would have been Tenpai.
Yeah, I feel like I would just throw the 8-so there, because you don't really want to throw the Dora. I guess you like, you might just take it as dealer.
Each.
Oh, and now we have the Richi from Charlie after being Ishanten for so long. 1-so, 4-so, 7-so. So Richi Pinfu. That 1 pin going to prevent any Tanyao. But a very nice weight there. There's still 2 1-so left in the wall, 1 4-so left in the wall, and then 1 7-so left in the wall.
Oh,
Ooh, and there's a 1-so. Galhan has a hand worth pushing.
Here.
8-so is definitely where you start. Like, if you draw into Tenpai, you probably do discard the 1-so here.
Sumo.
Although, there's going to be a sumo for him.
Yeah. Richi, Sumo, Pinfu, Nora.
Charlie taking a little bit of that lead back. And we move on to East 3. Let's see if Blaine can get a repeat here. Has a fairly nice hand. That 4-5-5-6 shape, the Nakabukure, both accepts the Dora 7-pin and is very easily developed into a full sequence plus a Rionman. So Blaine with some pretty well-efficient shapes there. Charlie elects not to call the South. It wouldn't have been Yakuhai.
Yeah.
There was a pause that might have indicated that he was considering it.
Home.
And Blaine lucky to get the Chun paired up before it came out from Charlie. Could get Adora in the hand, but likely to be just Chun Nomi, but you gotta start somewhere.
And now has an Ishanten. Nope, that's not Ishanten. 2 Shanten. Because we don't have a pair yet. And there's 2 Dora and Galhan's hand on the left. We just have a couple of floaters we need to take care of before that hand's ready to win. And then Kayla on the right has a pair of Hatsu and one Dora. Still quite a ways away from Tenpai, though. That hand isn't going anywhere very fast.
Yeah, could
Chi.
get the 567 Sanchoku, but it needs quite a bit of work for that.
It'll be interesting to see what Blaine discards
Gee.
here. Okay, Blaine takes the headless. A lot of different
I-
options. You can throw a Ryeonman. You could even throw away 4-pin, 6-pin.
Yeah, I would start with a 4-pin because you do have the pair there, and then if you do get the 7-pin, then you could wait like 5-8-pin.
Yeah, and get rid of one of your Ryeonman. Yeah, I would have liked that as well. 4-pin would have been a good place to start. As it is, Kayla taking the Atazuke.
Gee.
Oh, and now ooh,
Blaine's going to take the Tanki here. 7-so or 8-so. Decides to wait on 8-so.
I guess not throwing the 4-pin isn't so much of a backfire because you could get the 4-7-pin Nobuton shape. And might even end up with a 5-8-pin weight anyway. Although if you draw the 7-pin, I'd imagine you just take the possibility for another Dora.
Kayla cashing out on the Hatsu now. So is Ishanten.
Could still get that 5-6-7 Sanchoku.
Which would be very nice.
Although it would
Either-
be fairly telegraphed if there's another call.
That is true. What's Blaine going to discard here? The 9-pin is safer, but discards the 8-pin. The once cut 9-pin looking like a better winning tile to Blaine. This is actually Tenpai for Charlie.
Oh,
Oh,
but-
it deals in! Doesn't take the Tenpai and deals in.
yeah, it's a 2-sided weight as well, and
I mean,
yeah.
well, it's a 2-sided weight if you discard Dora. If you
Oh,
discard
yeah.
1-pin, you can wait 6-pin Kanchan. But a hard choice for Charlie there, and ends up dealing in. And so we do in fact get a Homba for Blaine. So far every dealer has repeated at least once. And Blaine's hand looking much nicer at the start here this time. It wasn't bad last time. But now our shapes kind of know where they want to go right out the bat. And we have a Dora 1-pin already as well. Although across the way, Charlie could very well get a 1-2-3 Sanshoku, which would of course incorporate the Dora 1-pin. And on the left, Galhan already Ishanten.
Yeah, Ryamen Ishanten even. It's very nice. Oh, could even get the 4-5-6 Sanchoku with that draw. Although,
the 3-pin already in the
yeah.
discards. I mean, really, you feel better about a possible 5-6-7 Sanshoku. Draw the 7-so, discard 1-so. And then you can't get Tanyao, but
Right.
still a lot of value possible there. And there's the 6, as a matter of fact, but probably just gonna call Ricci.
Yeah.
Does
Or
not.
Dama.
Is staying Dama 4-mon, 7-mon.
There is
This-
the improvement there, so wait one turn at least.
So we'll see how this turns out. Will Galhan call Ricci now? No. We'll wait more than one turn. How many turns? No one knows. We'll have to just wait around and find out. Ooh, Charlie now Ishanten for Chi-Toy. Chi-Toy Dora 2, no less. But you have to discard away from that complete 1-2-3-so shape. I guess you could toss the 2-mon, but... Ooh, it's throwing away the 4-pin instead. I'm not...
Huh.
What do you think Charlie's going for there?
Maybe wants to get Junchan?
Yeah, but what's your pair gonna be? Like for Jun Chani, Peiko, any
Yeah.
of it seems
Hmm.
like a hard sell.
Yeah. Huh.
Nathaniel has suggested a 1-pin, 2-pin Champon, which I would state can be neither Sanshoku nor Junchan. Yeah, well, Richidora 2 is good.
リーチ
So we'll see what Charlie ends up going for there.
Don't.
Kayla's going to deal in on the Ricci. I mean, this is Pinfu Nomi, though.
Yeah, never
So
did get that Sanchoku improvement, but
I mean, so whatever. Like,
yeah.
you just say thank you
Boom.
for not making that more expensive and move on. Although, of course, when all you have is Pinfu, there is some argument to be made for not calling Ricci just because you only gain as much points from the Ricci as the 1k that you spend. And there was an improvement there that would have made it a Mangon, so not totally unreasonable. Kayla going to be hard pressed to get a repeat on her dealership, though, as Charlie immediately called the Hatsu and actually already has pretty developed shapes to try and bring this hand to a close. Kayla's hand not awful, though. A couple of nice Ryanmen, just needs to get away from the edges here a little bit. Draws a Dora. Charlie now headless Ishanten. Ooh, and Blaine going for the Honitsu, and so has an Anko of Easts, does not con. Very, very proud of Blaine for the restraint there. I feel like Blaine from a couple seasons ago would have taken that. Kayla, seeing the call on the table, wants to hurry her hand up. She does have some value here.
And there's, well, Tenpai on the 6 Montanki, but we'll surely switch to something better. And this, oh yeah, this could actually turn into Chanta, Sanchoku. More likely at least just Sanchoku, but it could be both Chanta and Sanchoku. Ooh.
We see the 6-mon weight
Yeah.
now.
If Alexi switches to a better pair, it'll deal in that 6.
Yeah, it could very easily deal in. Although there's no Apatsu now. Kayla did break the Apatsu, calling the 4-5-6 pin. And yeah, Charlie does. That was definitely not a better pair and was not a safer tile, but Charlie discarded it anyway. That is enough to get Blaine out of last place and barely into third here. And we are finally into South 1.
Yeah, it's like when the hand like so close to Nitsu, it does feel bad to just take that Ricci, but there was 2 calls, so it's like, well, you could greed, but it's better to actually just win the hand, so taking the Tenpai is fine there.
I probably would have waited around personally, especially since we had cut so much up until then, and 6 mana is not a particularly good weight.
Yeah.
But it obviously paid off. We see Charlie here with a pair of Haku and a possible Itsu in the Mon. Not fully committing to Honitsu yet, discarding live honors before discarding these middle tiles in the other suits, and rewarded with a 3-pin.
I guess I wonder if it would be unconventional to read like with that chi, that 5 came from like a 5-6. I could definitely see someone with a bigger brain than me thinking about that, but it could have been just as well anything else.
Yeah, well, and you also don't typically expect someone to make calls like that and then end up on a naked Tonki, with just kind of like a tile out in the middle of nowhere. Like, it obviously happens sometime. If it was Haruka Tonki, then you would know, but as it is, across the way, Blaine making another interesting hand could get 2-3-4 Sanshoku on this one. Draws the 1-so first. Does toss the Chundora. Galhan likely to throw it as well.
Well, some people might have faith. We'll see. Has faith for a little bit, at least.
Would like to hold on to the Dora Chun before the already cut 8-so at least. We see Kayla calling the South.
Ooh, yeah. Galhan rewarded with the Dora pair up. Let's see, what's your Yaku here?
We have 4-mon, 7-mon Tenpai for Charlie.
I guess hope someone throws out that last Chun.
There is only one left, so you know that it's very hard for anyone else to use.
It could just, it is Ishanten. Could just take Tenpai on 3-6 pin, pay Chun. But would have to draw that. Unless someone just throws a Chun out.
If Kayla had greeted for the Honitsu here, would have been rewarded with that 5-pin draw, but then would have been a lot more likely to deal in on that 7-mon. Is not wanting to commit to anything like that yet. Yeah, just
Right.
discarding the 3-pin. Not
Pawn.
liking these shapes. Does take the 8-pin pawn.
Yeah, it was 4-7 still very much in the wall. 2 of each.
Sumo.
And there's one.
sumo.
Another $500 sumo for Charlie. That's their second one of the game, and now we are in South 1, Repeat 1. Ooh, and this hand does not look great.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a hand that will repeat, but it's a possibility. The rest of the hands don't really look that great either.
Gauhan's isn't horrible, and Blaine has started
Yeah.
with 2 complete shapes. So it's just a matter of
Gauhan
what
got
else
2
comes into
shapes
Blaine's
as well.
hand.
Could even get an Itsu, maybe just force Sanitsu, Chinitsu.
Now, Gauhan certainly holding on to the honors here. Would really like to make something of this. Kayla pulling in the second Haku. Charlie and Gauhan holding on to theirs.
Yeah, I guess
Giving her
Gohan
time to pair it
kind
up.
of hard committing with throwing the 5
Boom.
instead of one of those lone honor tiles.
Kayla Ishanten. Or not Ishanten, Tempai, waiting on 3-mon. Oh no.
Oh, could
Don't con! Don't do it!
I mean, just draw the 4-pin and then you could con.
And then you could con. It's now waiting Tonki on the 2-mon.
Pawn.
I guess you
And the
could even
Chun do
chi.
get called.
You could chi, drop 2-mon, and then con on your next draw.
That would be fun.
Yeah, but that would require someone dropping the Dora, and that's probably not going to happen, but it could happen.
Or dropping the 5th 7-pin.
Pawn.
Oh, I don't think it was the 5th 7-pin. Not in this
Or
mode.
we now have Dora Tonki for Gauhan. It does not have Honitsu, just Chun Dora Tonki, which honestly, same value. Both 3 Han.
Yeah. So that 2-mon. All of them left. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
I was gonna say all of them left in the wall. Well, there it just shows up. 1,300 points.
Right, will be enough to tie Blaine and bring Gauhan in a little bit closer.
Yeah, Charlie's fine with everyone being under 30k besides themselves.
Gauhan with an interesting hand here. 2 complete shapes and a very nice 4/5 Mon Ryanman. Has one of the Dora 8s, so everything else completely disconnected.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel great with good fill-ins. Like, oh yeah, that 5-pin can give a wide weight if you fill in other shapes besides a pair. Couldn't get Itsu. Yeah, Itsu's there. 6-pins pair.
Yeah, is definitely heading sort of in that way. We see Blaine on the right with an Anko of the 1-so. Has a complete shape in Mon. The rest of the shapes are okay. Kayla also could get an Itsu. Hers would be in the So. So a little bit off from that. And then Charlie... I mean, Charlie's hand looks like it's going to be good if you lean away from the screen. But the closer you get to the screen, the worse that hand looks. I really don't like that 8-9 Pidgeon. It feels really bad right now. Oh, but there's a 7-mon. There's another 7-mon. Make it look a little bit worse.
You don't have to throw it away. Like, Itsu's kind of there, but Sumogiri for throws a Sanso. Keeps the 3-pin, although I'm not sure why with having dropped 2 4-pins before.
It's kind of impossible for the anything near the 3-pin to be drawn and not end up for a 10. It does end up coming
Yeah.
out. I mean, Galhan's just going to end up with Chinitsu here. Does throw the 5-pin instead.
リー
Is
チ
Ishanten. And now we have the Ricci from Kayla. This will be waiting 1-pin, 4-pin, which there are 3 left in the wall. 1 4-pin, 2 1-pin. That is Ricci pin Foodora 1.
Oh, I'd like. Unfortunately, through the Sansa of the Ricci, I think they could have thrown the 9 so there and got the potential for Tanyo.
Yes, absolutely.
But Sansa Ricci for style. Well, you do need points. And Dora pair
Ooh.
for the Galhan, but could avoid dealing in with drawing a 2-pin and all that. That is not too likely.
Well, and we have Tenpai on the left
Don't.
now. Oh, and Kayla's going to deal in. Charlie
Ipeko Tanyo,
Yeah.
expensive end. At least
The
wasn't
7
Ricci
mon-
Patsu.
Right. Elected not to chase. And
Yeah,
Kayla
playing
just getting the
safe.
short end of the stick there. This is a nice deal for Blaine.
But Kayla with Yakuai pair and Adora pair can easily make those points back. As long as the Yakuai... Oh, and another
Oh.
Dora.
All the Dora now, and I'm sure Kayla's excited about this hand. Well, and on the left, Galhan also with a very good hand. Is 2 Shanten currently with a lot of good shapes there. Now Ishanten.
Yeah,
So we have a
Galhan-
little bit of a race.
Doesn't... Yeah. A little... I guess you don't really want to like Chi. Maybe if you didn't throw the 9, but it's like... Even then, the 9 is hard to use, but it's like... What if you get, Hanitsu, Yakuai, Dora 3, but...
It just with the Dora 3, you don't want to slow down your hand too much. We see
Boom.
Charlie across the way, also Ishanten.
Ooh.
This is Tenpai, but it's Yakula's Tenpai at the moment. Kayla counting on getting that Haku and switching the weight later.
Yeah, there are like different ways to think about it. Like, I just, I almost want to like do the Tanyo instead, just because like, what if those white dragons are just dead walled? But if your hand looks like Tanyo, then it might very well just steal in.
Right, it's easier for it to come out. In some respects. Blaine could take a perfect Ishanten here. Discard 5 mons that you're still able to accept the 6 so Dora. Ooh, doesn't. Actually takes a step back in Shanten.
リーチ
And now we have a Ricci across the way from Charlie, waiting 4-pin, 7-pin. A lot of those are being used right now.
リーチ
There's only 1 7-pin
Oh, and
left in the wall.
chasing Ricci. Oh, but
Don't.
Oh, it's gonna
Ichi
immediately deal
Patsu.
in.
Ichipatsu, Pinfu. At least it wasn't the Ipeko as well, but
Well, and now 2nd, 3rd, and 4th all right next to each other going into all last here. So it's going to be a scrum at the bottom. Everyone going to want to try and get above 30k. No one wants to come in last. Charlie obviously would like to end things as soon as possible to keep everyone below 30k. And Charlie has an absolutely amazing hand.
yeah.
I mean,
Already
Ishanten
Shanten.
already, just absolutely blessed. Now headless Ishanten. Kayla's hand has just too many slow shapes in it. A Pinchan, a couple of Kanchan. Really needs to improve those to have any chance of beating Charlie here. Oh, and then across the table, Galhan also with a stupid good high pie.
Is
That's
that
Tenpai.
Senpai? Oh, 369 as well. 9. There's only the one more. It's in Kayla's hand, but that would be Itsu, right? Yeah.
Yep, the 9 is Itsu.
1
Oh, another Ricci.
Oh, and then we have the
But
chase.
Just a two mon, but
There's 2 of those left in the wall.
I guess even if you end up
Sumo.
getting in,
There's the sumo. Ricci, sumo, pinfu, no Ura. But that will be enough to get Galhan second.
Still below 30k though, so Alexi's fine with that. Or Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie taking the plus 39.4, a nice huge first place. Got first place in the first game as well. So very good for Charlie. Galhan with the minus 3.2, really mitigating the damage there. Actually 2 negative seconds in a row for Galhan. Blaine with the minus 11, which will actually put him at somewhere around minus 30 something, somewhere around minus 40. And then Kayla with the minus 25.2. It just, every time Kayla got Tempai, it was the exact same thing that happened to Max in the first game that we watched. And a lot in the second game as well. Just every time Kayla got Tempai, someone else won. And there's not a ton you can do about that.
Yeah.
But as it is, we see, well, it is very hard to read the standings with kind of the nonsense at the bottom there. Just looking back at what the result of their first game was real quick. Yeah, Blaine had a minus 23.1 that first game. So Blaine and Kayla are basically neck and neck. They're both at the mid minus 30s. So no giant holes yet. Much smaller of a hole, in fact, than we see a couple people starting out in an A1. So plenty of time for everyone to progress here. Charlie with a very, very good start in B2. But having watched that table, we have several other tables going on right now. It looks like we are going to head over to table B23, featuring Silent RN, Daniel, Ryan, and Anya. And it is Silent RN that is our first dealer.
Yeah, Silent One looks like a dealer Mongon and has 3 Dora.
Just an absolutely bonkers hand.
All right. Let's see. Ryan could shut down this hand with just a Tanyao. Just Ishanten for that. And oh, if Silent gets the 2 or 5 pin, could have a nice 3-sided win on 3, 4, 6. So, oh, but there's a Ricci.
Yeah, Anya getting there first.
4, 7 pin.
And a 7 pin Zipeiko. And this is a fairly live weight. There are still 3 in the wall. 1 7 pin, 2 4 pin.
Oh, there's Senpai 2, 5. 2 so safe to the. Oh, there's. Ooh. It takes. Could they? That's the only way to reach it. Okay. 2 5 pin. Oh, the 5 pin. Oh, the Ipatsu door 3.
Oh god. Ricci, Ipatsu, Dora 3, any Ura.
One. Oh no.
The dealer Hanamon.
That was that was like, are they like 2-shotted? That's such a bad tower to throw. And punished greatly.
First dealer is apparently quite the boon in B2.
Yeah.
I would like to make a very quick note. you might notice that Daniel's Tenho handle in the top right for last season is different than Daniel's Tenho handle for this season. I'm not in I don't and
Oh,
is it just a different Daniel? Yeah, it's the wrong Daniel.
I see. Yeah,
I,
people
I,
were
I would have
talking about.
pointed that out. I would have pointed that out silently if I had realized that the last name started with different letters before I started talking. But I didn't. So might be. I didn't mean to put you on blast, Nathaniel. Thank you for all that you do. You're wonderful.
Right. Well, this Steel Hand does not have the Dora Anko this time, and there's a chance for Itsu, but it's not looking too great right now.
Now, are we stuck? Okay, we have fast forwarded back into time with everything. Silent actually has a fair
Yeah.
shot at Nitsu here.
It does look a lot better now that has a pair, and Izzy Shanten likely to just be the Ricci Pinfu. Well, yeah. Actually, I guess it's more likely you draw that Rionman and just end up with the Kanchan, but always
Anya's
hoping
hand,
for that Pinfu.
yeah, absolutely. And Anya's hand on the left also developing quite nicely here. Could still get Ipeco. That 5-pin also could end up being the pair, which would be a little bit unfortunate, but you kind of take what you can get at this point. Oh, 6-pin. That pin shape just becomes more and more complicated.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on there.
Silent still in Ishanten here. Not getting any closer.
Oh, is Daniel disconnected? This all Smugiri. It doesn't
Ooh,
look
you're
like
right.
I mean, there would be the red name if it was, but I would think they would keep the 3-pin. Yeah, for like the Rionman there.
Yeah, the 3-pin and the 4-mon really make that look like a disconnect. It's kind of unfortunate, but
Well, there's your Itsu upgrade.
and it's also waiting the full time before the discard, which almost makes it feel like some other sort of problem, but it's kind of hard to speculate. Anya's Ishanten has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, you could still got the Ipeco.
And now can get Tanyao and Pinfu alongside it.
I guess the 4 pins are no longer in the wall, but this gets Tenpai, just slams a Ricci. Not quite a Sanchoku, but it's like almost there, but not really enough time to like wait around. Plus Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Dora is quite good already.
And there's 4 tiles still left in the wall, 2 5-mon and 2 8-mon. The 3-mon is safe, so a very easy tile for Silence to throw there, especially since you want to pull in the 8-mon for the Itsu. Two-pin, a safe throw for Ryan. Ooh, and there's the 5-min and mon into Daniel's hand. This likely deals in.
I mean, yeah, because of the disconnect or something.
Yeah, Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Dora.
And
And
Aurora
two-
too.
Oh,
Wow,
oh,
that is
man.
just insult to injury.
Well, I wonder when
that-
Daniel disconnected.
That is such a good starting end too. If they're East pair as dealer in East.
And a Haku pair?
Wow. Across the way, Anya with West Anko, Red Dragon.
Oh, that one's Ishanten.
Yeah, could get the double Ricci with a lot of like 2-sided weights. Oh, is that
Yes!
double Ricci
Ricci!
2-sided weight? 4-7.
4-mon, 7-mon.
Half of them are already in hands, but
And there's still
you
4
take the
left in
double
the
Ricci.
wall.
The first time I played Anya, it was in the tournament. She got double Ricci. It's like, well, yet again.
Yeah, I do
So
think Honitsu is an option here. It's
it,
because you could pawn the Chun. Well, again, then you have Chun, Sha, Honitsu, and that's better than double Richi Sha.
I mean,
Like that is
yes,
worth
but
more.
double Reachy.
And there's the sumo.
And
So
you
I
have
guess that ends
the
up making
West
it
anyway,
equal.
so I mean, double Reachy West and like even on a ramen salad, if you just land the double Reachy.
Nah, I think I actually would have gone. I mean, it is such a good weight though, and it's impossible to play defense. But people are just going to be tossing terminals and honors. I mean, I wonder if anyone's even realized that Daniel's disconnected without the name being.
Yeah, I
Probably at this. I mean, since they're having to wait so long on the first turn each round, they probably have realized it. Silent this time dealt 2 Shanten. Not quite as good as what we've been seeing, but still pretty spectacular. And Ryan's hand also nothing to sneeze at. Has one of the Dora 7 pin locked away in a shape. Has 2 complete shapes, but still 2 away.
could like if you're really dreaming get the Sanjoku, but that's not too likely. Ooh, nice Kachan fill in as well. That
I really
is
prefer the 9-mon cut there. So that you can still draw the 2-mon. Gives you another way to get a Ryanman. Even like I think that's much more likely than the Sanshoku to come up because the
yeah.
Sanshoku also requires you to not have Eitso as your pair.
Oh, but
Well, but I mean, but what are you
oh,
gonna
yeah,
do
you,
now?
you can't. I mean, if you really want to greed, you could just throw out like I was to say,
Just gonna take the 9-mon. Fine.
yeah.
I'm not really a. I mean, it is Dora.
The door is 7 pin.
Yeah, right. Richi Dora 1. I mean,
Oh, I see.
there's Dora in the hand.
Plus dealer and turn 4 Ricci. What are they gonna do? Oh, and if Wenshin they have the Anko of 7-mon, 9's gonna look very safe if they draw it. Yeah, just one left in the wall though, but oh,
Well,
nice.
Anya,
Yeah,
Anya might unfortunately end up having to drop it according to what she ends up pulling into the hand.
yeah, it is a nice Yushanten.
Really, Anya would like to draw. Oh,
Oh, wait.
there's the 7-so.
Oh,
Deals into silent. That was Tanya Nomi.
yeah.
No chase. I mean, has
But
59k. Doesn't
yeah,
really.
doesn't want to risk it with like just take your massive massive point bank, but it would have been Richi Patsu Tanyo, I think, but don't need to greed that much, but I would do it.
Oh, and here's Anya. I mean, your eyes
Ooh,
have
Dora
to be full of
pair.
dollar signs now. Yeah. Nothing else in the hand really. The Manzu's nice, but not enough tiles there for you to be thinking Honitsu.
And gets a Ryanman fill, but yeah, that's to throw out a lot of tiles, but if you draw those Ryanman, it's gonna be very nice. And there's one of those Ryanman.
Ooh. That gets you to 2 Shanten. Although, let's see, around the table. I guess we'll just ignore Daniel's hands until we see a Tadashi. Silent on the right. Has 4 pairs, I guess. A couple of middle tiles that might help improve some shapes. And then Ryan on the left could get 4, 5, 6 Sanshoku if you draw a 5 and a 6 pin.
Oh, well,
It
the
seems,
Itsu seems more likely, I guess.
yeah. Reliant on the 1-so and the 8-so for that. There's another 2 pin, and you needed a pair, so
Could still greed around the Dora pair.
yeah, tossing the 4 pin first for that reason, I am sure. Oop, and now we have Chi Toy Tempai for silent. This will be another Dama. Waiting on the 8 pin, which are locked up in Daniel's dead hand across the way.
Yeah. Well, surely Ricci on a better Tonki. 6-0 would not be it. Even if it is twice of a Sanzo.
It is double Sanzo, but it's half as good.
Funny how that works.
Ishanten for Ryan for that Itsu. Ooh, and now we have the Dora Anko for Anya. She is now Ishanten.
Oh, that? Huh. It's like at some point, let's see, Ryan isn't third, but gave up the Ryan Khan.
That's Tempai.
Oh.
Hell weight on the 2 pin.
Yeah.
Probably why there was no Ricci here. And now the 5 Mon taken as the weight for silent. Don't really know why. Maybe just likes it.
Yeah, maybe just switching things up.
So, you know, sometimes you just need a change in your life. And there's the final 2 pin coming out. So this is now a totally dead weight for Anya.
Yeah,
That 6 pin, this is one of those times when staying Ishanten is probably where you're
surely.
better off.
But not Ricci,
Oh,
but a
there's the
much
Haku.
clearly the once cut honor. Oh,
There it is.
if that was the
Yeah, I mean, with the Haku there, I definitely would have slammed Ricci.
yeah.
And we get Chitoy missing out on the 6400 without calling the Ricci. But we are going into South 1.
Ooh, Anko of Yakuai for Wenshin.
And a pretty nice hand.
Yeah.
Not enough blocks yet, but that's okay. You can create blocks quickly enough. Ryan also has a very nice hand.
Yeah, very decent Tanya looking hand, maybe even any Peiko. Probably
Certainly
Pinfu as
feels like a
well.
Pinfu, yeah.
Ooh,
Now
that one pin
Tanya seems a
pair.
lot less likely.
I mean, you do have 3 Mon pair. You just reject the 1 pin pair. Force the Tanya.
Silent not riding the flow and calling Khan on the Hatsu there.
That would be a little aggressive. Or it's not even like aggressive, just like a flow book play, I guess.
Show everyone at the table that you are not scared of flipping their Dora.
Yeah.
Anya's Monzu look a little bit awkward. The 14679. Like, I mean, the one Mon is Dora, which is why it's hanging around, but just those shapes do not feel good at all. Really feels like Pinzu's the only place where anything's really going well for her at the moment. Sozu, of course, being consumed by Ryan. Silent Ishanten. But requires a Kanchan fill.
Another Sotile. And yeah, rejecting that 1 pin pair. Getting the Tanya. I guess could have had a Chitoy Ishanten if keeping that, but do you really even want that?
I mean, it has Tanya Ishanten as it is.
Yeah.
And at least for Tanya, you can call. Now you probably just dump the 1 so, yeah. Silent with a slightly wider Ishanten.
Could take the Chitoy Ishanten, but it would at least also have Tanya.
Yeah, I mean, you toss 8 so now, right? Like, that keeps both Ishantens. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. I mean, the 8 so wasn't really doing anything for you.
Oh,
there you go.
Pawns were just let's say there's the possibility of Ryan Peiko or Ryan Peiko.
Yeah, Ryan Peiko is my favorite Mahjong celebrity. Ryan could have discarded the 6 Mon there and perhaps hedged towards a Toy, but those aren't very Toyable tiles, so elects to just take the Tanya Nomi 4 Mon, 7 Mon. Wait. which is actually, there's still 4 left in the wall. 1 4-mon, 3 7-mon.
Yeah, I don't know. And that was Ishanten before, right? But
And there it
gets
is.
to Tanyo. It's like no one else is like calling or like the hand could have been worth so much more, but takes the
I mean,
Tanyo.
I feel like Silent would have been more than happy to call. It's just never got the opportunity.
Yeah. It could have had a nice Ricci as well.
Oh,
Possible three-sided weight.
Ryan opening up another beautiful hand. Anko of 4-mon. Nice shapes in the Pinzu, or at least they can become nice. The 6-7 and Sozu. Feels like a hand that's going to grow very quickly. Could even think about getting Sananko or something of the like. Might just settle for a Tanyao.
Yeah. Could get the Sanchiku with that. It's a little far away, but the blocks are there.
Yeah, and then Silence hand on the left is kind of a mess. The Manzu look nice. You have a pair of the Haku. But I think that pair of Haku was there from the beginning and didn't get called. I mean, the rest of the hand is so all over the place that it's understandable why.
Yeah. I guess, well, especially with the disconnected player, you don't. I mean, the dealership is just going to end. So you don't have to like call to end it. It's something you don't really necessarily think about that often because
Yeah, it's not a standard part of Mahjong. We do have Ishanten for Ryan now. Not for Tanyao, but for a hand that can win nonetheless. Yeah, is keeping the more efficient tiles here. Rather than going for some sort of triplet nonsense. Anya's hand making some slow sideways improvement, still 2 away. I'll be interested to see whether Silent is willing to pawn the second Haku should it come out. Oh, well, now has 5 pairs. So is
yeah,
Chitoi Ishanten.
we'll probably just Sama. Oh, there's Tempai 5-8 pin for Ryan. I just reaching Nomi, but a lot left in the wall actually. 5 tiles.
And there's actually still 2 3-mon left in the wall. So Urasan, not unthinkable. And now we've got the Dora Tonki. Chitoi, Dora Tonki for Silent, another Dama. Ryan, of course, would have to deal it.
There's just one more in the wall.
Hey, and now we got the chase from Anya, 3-mon, 5-mon. 5-mon, both in Silent's hand as a pair.
Yeah, Silent just bails, understandably. Doesn't want to deal into anyone.
Yeah, doesn't need
What
to.
they draw 7. 7 was not a good looking tile you had to throw into that. Even if you do have 6400, or could have just slammed the Ricci for Mongon at least.
I mean, you feel. I mean, I guess West is still live. But West doesn't feel particularly horrible with the table as it is, so.
Oh, yeah. Does end up being able to throw the 7-mon, but there was no way to know that was safe. Let's see, 3. That's 2 3-mon. Just stuck in the wall still. Oh, there's
Yep,
yeah.
this 5-pin will deal into Ryan on the right.
Yep, Ricci.
No
Urasan.
The Haku. Nope, not Haku. Chun. I don't know why I keep messing up the dragons tonight. I just can't keep track of them.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep track of them in space.
Oh God.
Let's see. 3 pairs for the dealer.
An obvious cheat toy.
I don't know about that.
I mean, there's nothing else to go for here. You're going Chitoy Dorotanki, of course.
I'll just go for the normal hand.
Because what else is there to live for? Life has lost all meaning. Might as well go Chitoy.
Well,
A nice 5-pin Kanchan fill there for Anya. Making her hand a little bit better, but still a lot of closed weights. A lot of mess to clean up.
a beautiful Kanchan fill for Ryan. This is what?
Everybody
Two
filling up their
Shanten?
Kanchans exactly with what they need. Yeah, that's 2 Shanten.
Yeah. And is that just below 30k? So would love to win a hand and get the positive Uma.
To win any hand, absolutely any hand, anything would do for Ryan at this point.
No, it is also 4 pairs, so that could become Chi Toy. But no, there's the Anko.
Yeah, that feels much better. Well, and Silent here is holding on to the safer Sha and Hatsu, although the Hatsu is still alive, so slightly less safe, but is not really playing these hands in a very fighty fashion at the moment.
Yeah.
9 Mon would have been the most efficient discard for Ovar there, but wants to keep the possible Ipeco alive.
Right. Could have taken that Chi Toy Shanten, but decided to reject it. And now, still keeping the Ipeco alive, but I don't mind throwing the 9. Actually, well, I guess it doesn't really matter either way, I guess. Nine is safe to both of the other players.
You're not really, I mean, you really don't, the way Silent has been playing, even the hand Silent has won, I mean, Silent hasn't called Ricci in about 3 years.
Yeah, it's the name of the game. You have to call it Ricci. Or not.
I mean, it's right in the name. It's Silent is Silent. Silent took a massive lead very early on and has just been kind of cruising around and murdering ever since. An extra Sozu draw there.
So this decent Ishanten for like forever. Ryan's still not getting Tenpai. See, yeah, 3 6 pins, still decent in the wall. 5 8 mon. Less so, but gets an
There's
8
an
mon.
8.
Could have gotten that Ipeco, but
Finally gets the Tenpai.
you just accept your Tenpai. Getting that extra Han would be nice, but
God, 3-pin, 6-pin is so live in the wall. There's still all 4 3-pin are in the wall, and 2 6-pin are left in the wall. We've been looking at so many seemingly dead weights today. Like, everyone's been holding everyone's garbage, but now this 3-pin 6-pin just seems. Yeah, there it is. There's the sumo, and that will get Ryan above 30k. Ricci sumo and
Uratura. Yeah, you don't need
dealer
the Ipeco
Mongon.
anyway.
And now is only 17k behind Silent. I mean, that's just a dealer Hanuman.
And Silent's hand looks terrible for just getting this over with.
It looks about as bad as it can get, actually, as a matter of fact.
Let's see. So it's not even really going for Kokushi. It's like 8. I mean, and even then, you just want to like end it. If you were going to be greedy, you could have reached a lot of other hands, but
Anya, the one more likely to end things here, I would think, with the double south in hand. It's just nothing else in the hand really connects. I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan just has extremely the best hand here. I mean, Ishanten.
you kind of, even if you get the double south pawn, you almost want more, but you might just accept your positive third, unless you're greedy like me.
I mean, Anya has final dealer. Take your double south.
Oh
It
yeah,
just
I thought this was south 4.
no, this is south 3.
So yeah, definitely fair enough to just take your double south, I guess.
And it does look like Silent might be moving towards some sort of Honitsu nonsense. Red Zone in the chat says 3 Honitsu blocks, which there are, technically. You could also go Toy Toy, I suppose.
You could foresee the Doko.
Foresee the Doko, although I think when you're foreseeing the Doko, you are supposed to have at least one so in hand.
Yeah, but I mean, just draw all 3 of them.
I mean, you would have to. Ryan has already discarded 1. Ryan just sumo gearing everything. Got an early Ishanten, but it's not incredibly efficient. And so we see just kind of nothing is helping out his hand.
Ishanten.
There we go.
2. So despite
Which
it looking like a terrible hand, it gets the Chi-Toy, another terrible hand.
There it is.
But no, with 2 Dora.
And obviously with Dama. Although, obviously with Dama, based on the way Silent has been playing, but I would love a Ricci. Ricci waiting on Chun or Shaw, either one. Or not Shaw, Non. I think I prefer the Ricci waiting on Chun with it being once cut.
Yeah, that would be probably the textbook play. Unless you are expecting to have to sumo, in which case you would take the more live looking tile.
Although now you've drawn a 6-mon. Yeah, it does ditch the south, which is going to finally give Anya the pawn.
Yeah.
And that pawn really doesn't feel like it gets Anya any closer. She's still so far away. 2 Shanten now.
At least with a Yaku.
Does have a pair and has 2 Yaku. Oh, and we see Silent taking the pawn. Just going to take Seat Wind. Well, Dora 2. Seat Wind, Dora 2. I guess there's nothing preventing this from being Toy Toy still.
Or
if 4
half
mon
flush.
comes out and you pawn it. Or half flush for that matter. If you cheese, yeah, that's going to be Tenpai. 7 mon, 1 pin. 1 of each left in the wall.
Ryan pushes a 2. If that was who needs a Tenpai, that would have been terrible to deal in, but at least does not deal in yet.
Yeah, kind of scary. Ishanten for Anya now.
Yeah, call. I thought, yeah, like you said before, still so far away from winning, but so close. But
deals in. Oh, that's so painful. Ryan was getting so close to catching up, but Silent opens up the hand and gets the Shah Dora 3.
Yeah. Wenshin didn't call Ricci this time, but called to invigorate the table with the Mongon. And Anya and Ryan are right next to each other. Unfortunately, even if Anya wasn't below the dealer penalty, would make getting second a little harder, but you're in the last dealer seat. Very oh yeah. So West will wait a while to go through because West seat has those and it's disconnected. I think it looks decent. Decent Pinfu, possibly even the Sanchoku.
Oh, and that 5 pin is such a good draw. Now you just have to deal with that bad Manzu shape.
Yeah, unfortunately, 2 3-mon just left in the wall, but you can just draw those.
Luckily, I mean, that's a pretty significant head start on both Ryan and Silent here. Oh, the 5 so another good draw.
Just get so many Ryamen that you don't have to keep that pench on.
Yeah, well, really, you want to turn the 1 2 4 into your pair somehow. One of those tiles needs to be your pair.
And
there it is.
There's a 4.
That's the one. Now you're Ishanten.
Great Ishanten for Anya. Summon Chan Ryanman, although the Ryanman is a bit of an overlap. Oh, and there's
There it
Tenpai.
is.
Can
3
win
so
it on
6 so.
Sanzo.
And there's 2 of each left in the wall. I mean, and this is Pinfu Dora along with the Ricci.
Oh no, Dora's 8 so.
Not Pinfu Dora. Tanyao. Tanyao, Dora, same difference.
Well, no.
They're
According to
worth
the
the
flow
same
book.
amount.
No, but according to the flow book, Tanya is better than Dora 1 because you can call.
I mean, not after you've said Ricci. Like, listen, I don't disagree with you. However, after the Ricci, they're the same. I mean, it might as well be Tanyao Peiko here. Like, it's all the same. The only thing Pinfu is going to affect here is the Fu. Still 4 tiles left on the wall for Anya as we go to the middle of the second row.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is a Ryamen, but it is the worst class of Ryamen, except the fact that you can win on Sanzo, which just makes it the best of the worst.
Now everyone just kind of waiting around. I mean, Silent going for Nagashi just for fun.
Ryan did bail with the 2-mon Anko because it was a safe tile, but could fight back. Does have the incentives to do so, but
Yeah,
is
if
too
you
shocking though.
yeah, if you have safety and if you're not Tempai, there's not a whole lot of reason to. You're in trouble if dealer gets a big sumo. But you're always going to have another chance if dealer wins. And you're really most concerned with staying above 30k.
Yeah.
You just don't like you really don't want to deal in. Dealing in is going to make things much, much harder. At least if you could kind of Mawashi around and maybe work through things that way, is considering pawning the 8-pin here.
And
does take it. The 5-mon was safe. So taking an Ishanten.
Yeah, the trouble is having to throw that actually a 2-pin is, I believe it's safe because yeah.
The 2-pin is totally safe. Because it was
Ooh.
tossed out by Daniel.
Doesn't take the Ryan Khan. Because maybe because it when it's right next to the Ricci tile like that, maybe didn't notice the 2-pin was safe.
Right, might be concerned. Oh well, now is in trouble. It's gonna be very hard to keep this going. Oh, it just deals in. Yeah, must not have noticed that the 2-pin was safe. I think is the really the only true explanation there. But still, only 5,800. So you're at 27. Still very easy to get above that 30k mark, especially if you are able to convert on say a Honitsu. But Anya with a fairly decent hand, a complete shape, a Ryanman, a Kanchan, a pair. Just needs another block here.
Yeah, could get that other block is in the Sanchoku, but you know, it's a possibility, not too likely though. When there's one of those Hanitsu tiles for Ryan, although the South is Dora, but Ryan doesn't have any of those, and it's another Mon tile. Could just get the Chinitsu if you keep on drawing like that.
Still 2 for Anya. Thinning out a little bit here. Really wants to use the Dora non. That will make catching up to Silent a bit easier.
Yeah, with no busting, you just win off of anyone.
I mean, if busting was on, this game would have been over 45 minutes ago, I think.
Right.
4 pairs for Ryan now. You don't really want Chitoy because you have to Ricci to get above 30k or Sumo if you did stay Dama. Well, there's your 5th pair.
Well,
But I mean, you still don't
yeah.
have to Chitoy. You can still go Honitsu if you want to open. You can get Ipeiko.
Oh yeah, well, he doesn't know, but the Hots will never come out, and the one is already cut, so there's a
Ishanten for
possibility.
Anya.
See, 8 so's. So 3 in the wall, actually. Not terrible odds of drawing them. Get a nice Ricci
Now,
Pinfu.
if I was like really thinking Chitoy here, if I'm Ryan, I would have considered tossing 7 so. Because that would have been a very juicy Nakasuchi trap. Waiting
True,
for so.
but I'd imagine the other players would just play Genbutsu.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, with a disconnected player, it is too easy to play defense because you can just follow their lead. It does look like Ryan either opening Atazuke or going to force the Honitsu here. Really, you want the Honitsu? Yep.
Yeah.
And is going to do just that. And as soon as Ryan is opened, we get the Ricci from Anya. 8 so.
Yeah, so 3 left in the wall, not bad.
And so we'll see what Ryan elects to cut. Probably starts with Haku.
Yeah, it is twice out, so would only deal into a hell weight. It's like, yeah, if you do win the Bakon here, because of the Ricci stick, that would be enough for 30k, but the 5 pin is a little hard to push.
Well, I think,
But maybe we'll see if they take it now. Yeah, 3-mon green, but just one 3-mon left in the wall.
and that's it.
But it is enough. But 1 versus 3. Okay, switch to 2-mon here, but
Ooh, Tumon is much more live.
and you.
Oh no, it's not. There's 2 Tumon in the dealer's discards. What am I talking
Yeah.
about? It's not much more live at all.
It would also be Itsu, but yeah, the weight looks much better keeping it the way it was.
Silent having to think a little bit on the discards now. Elects to discard 6 pin, which looks safe to the Honitsu, and Nakasuji to dealer.
And there's finally one of those 8s that are showing up, but not for the sumo for Anya.
Two still left in the wall. I mean, Silent actually could still get Tempai here. Is Ishanten. Oh, and there's the 8 so.
Oh no! I mean, and with
Yeah.
it's a tough one because like
Ricci Nomi at least.
yeah.
So still within a very reasonable range of 30k. Anya, however, starting with an Anko of the Souths. This dealer rampage is by no means over yet.
Yeah, could get a Chanta even, but probably just wants to get that Yakuai, get the Dora possibly.
Silent also has a nice high pie here. could shift over a little bit to a 6-7-8 Sanshoku, has the Haku to try and just end things. The Haku is going to have to come out of Ryan's hand, though, since it is locked up in Daniel's.
Yeah, I'd imagine that gets pushed out pretty soon.
Yep, just efficient play. Silent going to push things along here. Now Ishanten.
Yeah. Sound with a very good Ishanten. I feel like the dealership is probably not going to continue, but anything could
mean,
happen.
If that 3-pin comes out of Ryan's hand in the next couple discards, I do imagine it gets cheated.
Right,
'Cause if you're-
especially with a call on the table.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard for you, unless you deal into Ryan directly, it's very hard for you to end up even third.
Yeah.
And even harder to end up underneath 30K, even if you do fall to third.
There's a 3-pin.
Yep, definitely.
Does get called.
I don't like the 5-pin discard, though. I really just want the most efficient tiles possible.
Right.
And I guess there are several discards around the 5-pin already.
Are those are 9, so I would have imagined. I guess they're not going to be able to cheat you the Dora, but you could just draw it. But then,
Ooh, there's the 8-mon, but that's useful in hand.
right.
Four tiles in the wall total for Silent.
Oh, that, yeah.
And there it is.
The 7-8-9 or the 7-9-8 would have been the sequence, but Yakuai Haku to end it all.
Ryan with just kind of a miserable South 4 there. 3 consecutive deal-ins, but doesn't change things too much. Silent ends up with the plus 53.6 first place, an absolutely massive win. Anya did quite a bit of climbing there, got started in third and just above 30K and got all the way up to 44 and is at plus 15.4. Ryan ended up negative 11.9. And then Daniel, who is disconnected at least since the dealer Hanuman in like East 2, ends up negative 57.1. I had not been paying close enough attention to notice whether Daniel was right. Might have been right then.
Right.
But these things happen, and all that aside, this is another division where not a lot of games have happened yet. So much action still left to be played. I mean, there are 3 games going on right now. They all started quite a while ago, though. So the question is, do we keep going?
Might as well.
Might as well. We can, all right, we could jump into a C1 game or a B3 game. This is not, that B3 table has already played a game today, so they're likely finishing up. This does look like the first game for the C1 table, so they will likely play another. So if we want to head over to C1-5, we might be able to catch a game and some change there. Involves at least one of the new names that people might recognize, I believe, in Curly, who is a streamer who plays Mahjong. Oh, and hey, look at that. Remy rating with a party of 11. One of our bona fide broadcast directors. And thank you
I'd
at
say
this moment. Yeah. I say let's hop over to C1-5. And while that is happening, we'll throw out a thank you to Nathaniel as well, who has been doing all of the jumping around here, just kind of at our whims, scattered across the league, doing a very good job of keeping things running smoothly.
Yeah, this jump does involve less switching around for like the standings as well, making it a little bit easier on him.
I mean, does it? Weren't we were just watching B2.
Well,
It's Stephen F. Stephen F.
if we were going to jump to the other game and then this second game, then it would.
There we go. And we're actually in East 4 here. So this has been a rather long East round. And we come in just in time to see James deal the 1-mon. But as Fogless is Atazuke, that will not deal in. It looks like we are currently behind Curly, who is not the dealer. Dealer is on our left. And there's the second 1-mon. So now Fogless is kind of no longer Atazuke. Just the only part of the weight left is the tune. We do have on the right Steven.
Oh, there's that tune.
동,
Oh. Steven had such a great hand, just couldn't draw a pair, it looks like. And now Curly is our dealer. Ooh, and a pretty nice high pie. So it's the beginning of South 1, and Curly is in third at 24-2. Steven is in first at 48,200. Kevin across the table is in second at 33-4, and then on the left is James at 14-2.
Ooh. Curly could get that Sanchoku, maybe even the Junchan, but it's kind of there. It's a little far away, but it's there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Steven's hand on the right, getting rid of that 8-9 Pinchan. Well, actually, toss the 7-so first.
Ooh, yeah, Steven getting a second Dora, possibly Peiko, looking pretty decent.
Yeah, a couple of good draws, really improving that hand.
Oh, that one Penchon that would have filled.
I mean, the 7-so was the first
Yeah.
discard, so I was not watching that hand when that got discarded, so I'm not sure what that was discarded from. Kevin also in a pretty good position here is now Ishanten, Ryanmin, Ryankan, Ishanten for Tanyao, Dora 1, possible Pinfu. Curly still dreaming
Yeet.
about 789 Sanshoku, and there's the Tenpai, and it is the ideal one. So Kevin has Richi Pinfu Dora 1. It will be Tanyao on the 6-mon, and not Tanyao, anti-Tanyao, the
Yeet.
opposite of Tanyao on a 9-mon. And now we have the Chase Richi from Steven. Is Steven going to eat the 5-pin here? Does.
Yeah. Ooh.
Richi Dora 2, possibly Peiko.
It's incredibly likely Peiko since the 1-pin is 3 out, but there's still.
Well, so are the 4-pin. The 4-pin
well,
are all out.
Well, he doesn't know that, but 3 1-pin in the pawn.
Yes. So the only tile left in the wall is a singular 1-pin. Otherwise, someone will have to deal into the Peiko.
7,
And there would have to be James since the other 2 4-pin are locked in the other Richi hand. But I don't imagine. Well, maybe if there's a Kabe of 5-pin, but it's surely there will be better tiles to throw.
Curly takes
Hopefully.
that. Oop, there's the 1
Oh,
pin.
that 1-pin.
So it's going to have to be a Ron for Steven to win now. Curly in kind of an awkward position here. Tosses the safe 8-pin twice.
Yeah, 3 calls still being yeah. Can only get the the
No.
1-pin
Oh,
does
there's the
come out.
1-pin. So it's Richi Dora 2.
Ura
And
2.
2 Ura. Oh, absolutely tragic. The rich getting richer. And we once again have somebody approaching 60K. We've seen some
Yeah.
absolutely massive games.
I think that could have been avoided. I think the they did have 3 mana and a 2 mana next to that. So definitely, well, probably safer to just throw that one chance rather than throwing something near Dora, but just a little unfortunate that there's 2 Aura as well. Let's see. This hand. Way too many terminals, but 3 pairs could get that Chi toy. Could even just accept your decent lead and fold out, but is willing to at least try to win the hand.
Yeah, you can kind of play around with it a little bit. You don't have to make decisions now. There's your 4th pair. Now I probably would maybe toss Forso and say this hand is going to be Chi toy or nothing.
Yeah,
But can kind of do whatever you want. Kevin's hand on the
Chi toy
right
Shanten.
looks pretty good. You have the pair of the Tune. You can accept the Dora 2-pin. And you have easily
Yeet.
improvable shapes. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that started from 3 pairs, just became Chi toy within 5 discards.
That did feel like an almost... That was such a fast reachy as to almost make me think that they did not even consider that they were Tempai. Like, just the reachy button pops up and you just insta-click it. I feel like...
Right.
I feel like we could have waited for a better Tonki there. Not the South, because that would have been Furiton, but...
Yeah.
And dead.
But if you were going with the Chi toy brain, it was once cut, so it would have been a great weight. And I guess, well, that wouldn't have drawn because if you didn't throw that 8-man, it wouldn't have been Chi, but...
Right, it would have shifted it.
It
would've
wouldn't
shifted
be
the
a
draws.
Chi toy without the pairs and the discards. Still 2 6-mon left, though. But it's fairly unlikely to be a Ron. Maybe, yeah. You could just... What do you think about taking a Chi toy with a bad weight to force yourself to sumo for extra Han?
No.
No?
No.
Just no?
No.
Oh,
No.
wow. Chinitsu possibly on the left.
I don't like it.
Curly.
Yeah, just keeps drawing pins.
And in the Dora suit, but does not have Dora yet.
There's 2 Dora in the pond. The 3rd Dora
this
is
one, those
staying in
6-mon.
Kevin's hand.
Gets the half suit set up, but the Nakasuji is not set up yet. But it will be if Koi does not Chi the Dora, surprisingly. It could have set up the Nakasuji trap with that 3-mon.
Dora's 2-pin. There's the 6-mon. I
oh.
wonder if it comes out here.
Yeah.
Also the
I
1-pin
thought it was
instead.
2-pin, but I guess if that was Chi, that would have been the sumo for that Chi toy.
Yeah, all the 6-mon in hands now. Although if anybody fights, there could be issues. If Curly gets to Tempai, could deal in.
Is there even time for him to get to Tempai though? There's only
Curly has a draw. Curly has 2 draws. That's infinite time. Infinite Tempai time. I legit would not have minded a con from Curly just to prevent yourself from getting the final draw. Con, discard the 9-pin. Make someone else discard the high tay. Or Hote, I guess, if you're the one dealing in. As it is, we're going to go into a repeat. And this hand's fine. It's just fine. That's all it is. But you know what? No one else has a good hand. So, like, who are we to judge?
I feel like it's not fine, but I guess it is better than... Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
James
you got 2
has a better
pairs,
hand.
2, 3, 3, 4, everybody's hands are
Oh.
struggling here. Kevin's, I think, is improving the fastest.
It's actually 4. It was 3, but now it's 4. So it could be the Cheetoy again.
The mahjong nihilism continues as just more and more chi toys flow into hands. Kevin could get a 4-5-6 Sanshoku out of this as well, I suppose, if you can work that so shape to the left some. Four, five, six Sanshoku a little bit more alive for Curly. The 3-pin was the last tile you wanted to draw into that 2-3-3-4 shape.
Yeah, but you could just draw more Ankos, or could even get a normal hand of like an Ipeco, or, well, no, I guess it would just be the Cheetoy. Could even wait on Sanzo.
I mean, the Cheetoy's Ishanten now. Just not. We're just not getting anywhere with these hands.
Yeah, at least
It
Curly
looks like
has a ooh,
James
Sama-chan.
James is Ishanten.
But still, Curly does not have a pair, and it's still 2 Shanten.
James also without a
Yeet.
pair, but a lot of ways to create one.
This is the Ricci waiting on Sanzo. You'll have to see it. 2 left in the wall.
1
Even the fakey Peiko, and there's a chasing
And now
Ricci.
Chase.
Is that
This will
what
be
is that
this will be
gonna
Pinfu, Ricci Pinfu, possible Dora, unless they toss the 8-mon, which would be kind of bonkers.
Well, that would be. It would be 147, right?
What? No, it'd be 6-mon Kanchan.
Oh, that's. Yeah, I thought there was a 6 in there.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, waiting on Dora is cool, but so is waiting on Dora and something else.
Just force yourself to wait on the Dora, and no one will throw it, so you'll also get Sumo.
No, I've already said no to this. This has already been denied. There are 2 6-mon left in the wall for that Dora Sumo. Only a single 9-mon.
Oh,
And
but
then
a
it's
single
Zoom.
9-mon comes out. It's the Ricci Pinfu. And
And
one.
Anura.
One of the Sanzo they were looking for. Tragic.
8 distinct Eternals and
Oh, is
Honors for
that-
Steven.
A 2 Dora with the dealership hand.
Ooh.
Could easily force it into Tanyao.
Oh, yeah. If a 7-mon came out from Steven, I would have no qualms calling a very fast Chi. Especially now that we've drawn the 7-pin. I mean, now we could even get Tanyao Sanshoku Dora too. Make
That'd be great.
Make a little Mangon out of this.
홈
The pay call for Steven, but the hand is still. Oh, if it was a 6-mon,
Huh.
it's so.
Chanta?
It's gonna take a lot of work to win that hand. You do have a Yaku, but it's. Ugh.
Listen, we just gotta have faith. Well, let's make an agreement. We refuse to look at Steven's hand until turn 8. And then we'll reconvene and see how things have come along. In the meantime, Kevin's Sanshoku looking a little bit better now that we have an outside pair. I guess we've always had the Dora pair, but if we can lock that in, maybe even get Ipeco in the Sozu. Curly has very nice pin shapes, but everything else is a little bit of a struggle. I usually like the bulging shape, the Nakabukure, but 7-8-8-9 is the weakest version.
Right. Decent hand for James, though. I think that is, yeah. There's now Ryanman, Ishanten.
Could get Tanya, could get Dora. maybe like to draw the 4-so so that you can secure that Dora into hand
7
instead of it just being a possibility. Kevin actually taking the Chi on the 7-so there, tired of waiting around, has to. Dora does not want to lose this one.
Oh, but
Each.
gives
Oh, there's the
James
Dora!
a Dora.
And now we get the Ricci, Dora, Pinfu, possible Tanyao on the 4-mon. 1-mon would, of course, not be Tanyao.
Right. And so 4 of those left in the wall, actually, for the weight.
Okay, it's turn 8. I'm going to look at Steven's hand. A pair of Chun still doesn't look good.
Yeah. At
Still
least
in,
kept
in
the
bad
1-3
shape.
shape, so is less likely to deal in.
That does mean there is a single 1-mon left in the wall and 3 4-mon.
Sees the Sanzo.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kevin.
Ooh, if I should, oh well, if it was a 1-1.
Yeah, really, you should throw Haku first there, but
Yeah. Haku doesn't be. I mean, Haku is your safe tile, but if you don't throw your safe tile, then it's not doing its job.
I mean, it could also just be Sasha Komi. Keep Kevin from catching up to you. I don't think you needed to. Kevin didn't have any save tiles. Kevin was having to push into that, but it didn't hurt you all that much. And James now has a much better shot of getting out of 4th. None of the Dora's 6-mon in hand and no Yakuhai, but has a couple of Rionmen and a couple of middle tiles that can easily be improved. The question is, will Kevin be willing to call for a fast hand with the pair of Chun just to secure second place here, or is Kevin going to go for, say, Hanuman Sumo, which would be enough to overtake first?
Because you have the options for Honitsu the Doras, except, well, they threw 1-mon, so I guess they're not going to be greedy like that.
Ooh, there's
but
a
that would have been, Menhon Chitoi Shanten doesn't believe in the Honitsu.
Yeah. Well, and that would be what you need. I mean, Toi Toi Hatsu Chun Honitsu would be enough. There's your Hanuman if you're able to sumo it. I mean, Baimon Ron isn't enough, so it really needs to be Hanuman Sumo. We do have Ishanten for James, and a fairly good one at that. Rionman. No Yaku, though.
You don't need a Yaku if you can call Ricci.
That's fair. We have 4 pairs for Curly. Curly gonna hold on to this Hatsu, choke it out from Kevin. And there's another 5-mon. So maybe the Toi Toi Honitsu dream exists.
Yeah, it would have been, Dora draw the dealer. How long do you keep this? For a little bit.
I'd almost rather yeet it now. I know we need value, but
yeah, the longer you keep it, the more dangerous it gets.
Baimon Ron is enough. I'm sorry. For some reason, I added 16,000 to 33.9, and I got like not 49.9. So yeah, Baimon Ron is enough.
Yeah, it is close.
Just bad math on my part.
And finally, 10 pie for the dealer. 6 9-pin.
Is
6 still left in the wall.
Yeah, very live. A very, very good weight. Now we're gonna have 10 pie for Steven. Waiting 1-mon, 4-mon.
Oh,
Reachy hand.
It's non only, but
enough to set the scores in stone. That is going to be a first for Steven at plus 35.6. Kevin going to narrowly stay above 30k at plus 8.9. Curly with the modest minus 12.3, and James, unfortunately, after calling Ricci dealing in, ends up with the minus 32.2. But this table took absolutely wasted no time before starting their second match, or their fourth match, rather. This will be their last round, and it is worth noting Steven has won every single one of these games. Has 3 firsts already. Has anybody else won 3 firsts? Hold up. I'm going to do a quick scroll through the standings. Scroll. Yes, Gaetano in B3 also has 3 firsts. I imagine they're the only 2 people, though. Yep, that is the case. And Curly is going to be our first dealer here. 8-so is the Dora, which Curly has 1 of. The hand is fine. The Pinch-on isn't great, but we have a lot of middle tiles that we can work with and not a lot of honors that we have to discard, like Steven on the right, although Steven could push for a Honitsu if they so chose. James, across the table, has a very nice hand other than the 8-9 Pinch-on.
Well, there's the South pair up. It's also their seat. It's definitely an option.
Yeah, Honitsu feeling better and better for Steven on the right.
Although Chun is essentially a safe tile at this point, so that's not as great, but you can also just get the East as well. It's not in anyone else's hand.
Shaw isn't really going to do anything for you. I'd almost wonder about cutting 3-mon here, yeah. Because now we can draw into the 1, 2, 3, 4 shape a couple different ways and be able to ditch the 8-9. Well, Curly getting another 8-9 themselves. I mean, it's next to Dora.
Yeah. Throw the 4, so could shift your 5, 6, 7 to get the 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku. Oh, except, well, oh, you already threw the 9 pin, though, so that's a little... I guess,
It's a little awkward.
Yeah. And you can't even draw a 9 pin anymore, so that's just not going to happen.
So not really useful to Steven. Steven has not had the opportunity to get rid of these 1-mon yet. Oh, and there's the East pair up.
Yeah, at this point, surely commit to it. It's like 2 Yakuai uncut and Honitsu. That's your Mangan.
I mean, you've got good blocks for it too. It's not like you're gonna really have to push a lot or force a lot. I mean, we do have the Ricci now from James. This is Ricci Pinfu, possible Dora if James is able to win on the 8-so. There's 1 5-so left in the wall and 2 8-so left in the wall. Well, now there's no 5-so left in the wall as Curly has all of them. Well, 3-mon is safe.
That just means you're going to sumo on the Dora for tons of extra value. As long as someone pushes.
That is definitely what James would prefer. Ooh, that 8-pin is a good draw. Now I feel like you have to toss 1-mon. 1-mon looks so much better than everything else in your hand. We get the Dora sumo anyway. Ricci sumo Pinfu Dora. Just like you called it. You were correct. James taking an early lead here as we go into South 2. And Steven with another pin Honitsu, this time with double East.
Yeah, and in the Dora suit. A little... Yeah, people will be thinking something's up with the Sumogiri Force, so could have started with the 8-mon to make it a little less obvious, but...
I thought all discards as dealer always showed as Tadashi. Like Sumogiri isn't meaningful on
for the first one. Oh.
Yeah, like I was under the impression that it always showed Tadashi no matter what.
I don't know actually.
And I know in Mahjong Soul that's the case. I've actively tested it.
But still, you could just start with the 8 over the 4.
No, I don't think the 8 was in hand. The 8 was a true Sumogiri. I mean the 8-mon?
Yeah, the 8-mon.
Oh.
see where those E's still stuck in the wall. It's like,
But that's fine. You've got time to develop this.
yeah.
The
these
only
blocks are
issue
not
is
too great.
we're losing our honors.
Yeah, and even then, the last time, I guess they never really got the opportunity to pawn those honors. So it might happen again.
And it's not even like they're being purposefully choked. They're just not appearing.
And yeah, the way this looks like it could also look like a Kokoshi attempt.
You haven't discarded any terminals or honors yet. James, with an okay hand, has too many blocks, so we'll likely get rid of the 1-2 shape, and so.
Just not getting anything to call. Oh, I mean,
Boom.
surely call to invigorate the table. You're never going to get a chance for that 5 and again. Opting to start with the once cut White Dragon instead of the twice cut South. I'd have a little more faith. I mean, yes, especially like even want to like get like the tempo, even let alone win. I definitely start with the like how struggling this hand is. Definitely keep the more efficient honor tiles, but safety could matter, especially this one does get reachy.
There's another North, which those are totally live. So a very nice honor to pair up here.
Let's see, is anyone even close?
I mean, I feel like Pawn here would not be bad.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, it's good.
Like, I would take it.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, you don't have to. Steven looks to be saying no currently. All right, does end up taking it. And now we have Tenpai on the right for James, waiting 6 mon, 9 mon.
I guess you didn't have to, but at least they're scared enough that they're not calling Ricci.
And that's Pinfu Dora, no less.
They kept the White Dragon like, and just the Sumo Giri wait 1 turn Ricci. They'll be scared, or will they? Oh, there's Tenpai.
Oh, there's Tenpai.
It's a little sad to get the Bach on. They kept the,
well, it is 22
Oh God! Oh no! The Dira tile! Oh no!
Incredible.
At least it wasn't flipped Dora, but flipped Ura with that con. Oh no!
Holy cow! the punish.
I guess it wasn't actually Bach on that. It had a Dora, but
it wasn't Baka.
Felt like it.
Perhaps Baka Khan, but that's a totally different story. I mean, you just can't resist. It's so much foo.
Well,
that makes your 3-Han hand a Mongon if you get enough foo in it.
I don't think it was quite there because it was an open con.
But there were also 2 pawns, and it was a bad weight. So it's 2 + 2 + 16 gets you up to 40, I guess, and then the bad weight gets you up to 50. So that would only be 6,400. Or not, you were dealer, so 9,600.
But it was the Rinshan. It was like the anti-Rinshan.
Kind of anti-Chankon as well. But on this hand, James, with a pretty decent dealer hand, some nice shapes, could work towards an Ipeco in the pin tiles if you can draw into that 3-4-5-5 shape. Has a pair of the Souths, which is totally okay for Pinfu. I do notice across the table that Curly has a pair of the Haku, which we have not seen come out yet, so it'll be interesting to see whether Curly elects to pawn that, if it does. 2 Dora in the hand on the left for Steven. I mean, that hand's probably just going to be Ricci plus some amount of Dora, the way it's developing right now.
Each.
And there's... Yep. Could have waited 1 turn for the Sanchuku, but just slams to Ricci. Oh, that's... Oh. 5 of the winning tiles in Steven's hand. It's one tile left in the wall.
Oh my god. This is what we've gotten used to all night. It's just every single Ricci has been locked up in the hands already drawn, never in the wall.
Oh, interestingly, I didn't realize Curly threw the Dora first turn. Either it's a 2-so. Right next to the 3-so. Very usable, but at least avoids it didn't end up drawing anything out, so
It
ended
was
up not dealing in. Or
it was the
potentially
Each.
dealing
mega brain play. Just recognizing that 2-5 would end up being dealer's weight, and that would be unnecessary. I mean, no other tiles have been drawn
in. Oh, what is
that incorporate those.
okay?
So this is
three
going to be
6
3
pin.
pin, 6 pin, yeah. Riichi Haku.
The 3 pins. It's 1 3-pin and 1 6-pin left.
So twice as live as dealer's Riichi.
But if there's another 5-pin comes out, Steven might deal in with the 1 chance. Especially because you don't want to throw anywhere near those so tiles, being near the Dora. Get very hard to defend there.
I mean, the 7, 8, 9 mon probably all look better than the 3 pin, even if you see another 5 pin come out. Because now if a 5 pin comes out, you're in the 3rd row, and you really need to be careful about 1 chance in the 3rd row. Like,
Yeah, 9 8 is safe to the dealer as well.
Chi.
Chi, I guess that was safe. Although seeing that that form on the Riichi tile from the Curly, may not throw the 7, but doesn't have to.
I mean, 8 mana is safe to both. So is 4-so.
Yeah, might be thinking about it is Ishanten. So is last 2 so still in the wall.
That's not it.
Oh,
there it is. And Kevin's not discarding that.
And does not quite 10 pi, but there was an improvement in Shanten.
So we're going to have another dealer repeat here. Going into East 3, repeat 1. And here we go. This is another Chi toy. Nothing else.
Another Chi toy on the right as well.
All right. And another Chi toy across the way. I see 2 pairs. I see 2 pairs there. No, Steven's the only person at this table who can't go Chi toy. Only 1 pair. That's not enough.
But you could just draw a pair every draw.
That's true.
Get there before the end of the first
Home.
one.
And you do have a Dora in hand. It looks like Kevin is going to go for the more Yakuhai toy route. The toy is not necessary, but still an option.
I don't like just throwing 6 mon or 6 8 so to hedge Hanitsu in the Dora suit as an alternative, but could also just get a 1 Han hand. That'd be a little sad. Maybe 2 Han if
you triple
that Dora.
With 1 Han, you triple your value with the Riichi sticks in the middle, so
right.
Playing efficiently has its merits here.
Home.
We see another pawn taking the pay. We are now Ishanten for Kevin. And this is more than likely, if you get to Tenpai with this hand, you're going to have a pretty good shot at transforming it into Toy even after you have reached Tenpai.
Right. Oh,
and there you go.
It is. Unless you chi the 7, so
4 pairs for Curly now. Tosses the 7-so. So does not believe in Chi Toy. So Curly cannot win this hand. It is impossible.
I'd rather believe in that Sanchiku, which is kind of there, but not really.
There's another 8-so.
5 pin, 2 mon. 2 mon's still in the wall. 1 5 pin. But
I mean, the 5 pin, Steven can use the 5 pin. It would be a pair for James, so it's on the way to Chi Toy.
Oh, it's the last 5 pin.
There it is. That's all you need.
And the 40 fu bump as well. Calling to invigorate the table. It definitely warms my heart to see the Toy win over the Chi Toy.
I mean, no one actually had Chi Toy, really. I don't think anyone was really going for it.
They started with 4 pairs. They could have went Chi Toy, but they called. You see the
I see what you mean. Well, you can't say that the Toy won over the Chi Toy They still could have won with Chitoy. We just don't know. We live in a different reality. As
Well,
it is,
in this reality, they went for the toy.
and they did, and they won, and good for them. But they didn't win over the Chitoy. That's all I'm saying. I just don't want you to slander it. I just don't want you to slander Chitoy.
Is it slander if it's real?
Well, I'm arguing that it's not real. Kevin, with a very good dealer hand here, is actually already Ishanten. Could even get not Pinfu, but Ipeko.
Does get Tanya at least.
If Kevin draws the 6-pin here, and does at least get Tanya out, could even get some amount of Ankos here, whether it be San or Su. And a Peiko possible for James on the left as well with the 789 mod.
Unfortunately, the Doko is not alive. Anko 3-pin in James's hand.
The Doko totally dead. I mean, if you draw 3 what do you do as Kevin?
Throw away from the Rionman. Maybe get the Suanko or Toy Tanyo.
You would have been Tenpai. At this point, it looks like Kevin just going to play more efficiently, not going to think about making a Sana Anko or Su Anko out of this. James calling Ricci. I mean, you're waiting on 7-pin. It's just a matter of how much Fu your hand is worth, I suppose. So this is Ricci Dora 1.
On the 5, so it's a terrible tile to draw into this. Throws Sanzo. Has a little bit of faith. Oh no!
Oh!
Takes the Senpai and the Genbutsu, but...
I mean, it doesn't call Ricci, but I guess had Tanyao, so could have one Dama, but deals in for 2,600, stays above 30k with that. It's just a little bit sad to lose that dealership. We'll get another one, though, as we are now entering South 1. Back to Curly, who is opening up with 3 pairs, and this hand is not very good, other than that. You do have one of the Dora 8, so
yeah,
maybe something can come there.
Just calls to invigorate the table with Toy Dora 2. Or just draw that Yakoi, yeah.
That's the 5th pair.
Oh wait, I thought it started with 3, but started with 3? Just draw the pairs, okay, I guess. Chitoy has to win sometimes.
I mean, it hasn't won yet. It's going to win, but it hasn't won yet. We do see on the right, Steven has a pair of the Hatsu. Doesn't have any Dora, so it could be a cheap Yakuhai call if it came. Could also maybe make Honitsu out of that, but doesn't quite have enough blocks. We see Kevin on the left has already called the South, has a Dora in hand, so probably just taking a quick 2-Han win here.
Curly could have called that 8-pin pawn, but decides not to. And unfortunately, if you were going to go the Toy route, the Green Dragons are Mochi Mochi.
This is true. You can't Mochi Mochi with Chitoy. It's one of the big advantages.
If there are 2 different Chitoys, but you're waiting on something that's a pair in the other Chitoy's hand, it's kind of Mochi Mochi.
Well, there's still one more tile. I think the only way you could Mochi Mochi with Chitoy is if all 4 players were Chitoy and all 4 players were waiting on the same tile. And then it wouldn't be Mochi Mochi, it would be Mochi 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 Mochi.
Well, you could do the optimal wait on the once cut honor, but if the other 2 of those honors are in the other Chitoy's hand, it kind of is that Mochi Mochi.
If it's once cut.
Yeah.
I still prefer what I said because it involved 4 Mochis. And you know what? I don't think we lingered to appreciate on that enough. We do see Curly, after getting the Ishan 10 for Chitoy on turn 3, has only Sumogiri'd since then.
Yeah. It's all because they didn't call for the 8-pin to invigorate the table. They'll be stuck in Nishantan hell.
Tenpai on the left for Kevin, waiting for 6-0, 9-0.
1
And a Ricci from Steven.
The
This is
Cheat
Chitoy,
Yeah.
waiting on 7-pin.
This could be that pseudo Mochi Mochi was thinking of. Maybe? I don't know. Not quite.
Oh, but the 9-0 is going to deal in first.
Yeah, it was safe to the Ricci. Non-Dora. Does move things along. Not being too expensive, but your lead is a little bit less. Decent into the dealer, though. Oh, throws a Dora, turn 2. That's maybe hard committing to the Hanitsu and the Mon, but that's...
I mean, 1-0 just seems like... I mean, because you could still get Sanshoku with this hand.
Yeah.
Like 1-0 feels like a much more natural cut.
Yeah. It's like if Hanitsu was in the Dora suit, that'd be understandable. But throwing that door out is... And it's such a usable door. It's so much in the middle. So they just foresaw that they would not draw anything around it.
But looking around the table, we do see 4 pairs again in James' hand here. So James could be our latest Chitoy contender. Although certainly doesn't have to. This hand has plenty of possibilities otherwise. And as a matter of fact, is just going to keep that 6, 7, 8 shape and discard the second 7. Kevin has a couple of Ryanmen and even kind of an outside chance of Itsu in the pins,
Yeah.
but a very inefficient hand currently. And Curly still has a bunch of Yakuhai in hand.
Yeah, unfortunately backfired in that Nakabukure shape. Would have another Ryanman if they did not throw that 7.
Yeah, that bulging shape where you have
ポン
like 5, 6, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 7, 8 is a very good shape for building Ryanmen. It's usually pretty good to keep those if you would like to improve other shapes. You know, at least until you're Ishan 10. Once you're Ishan 10, it can kind of get in the way. But before that, it could be a very easy way to get rid of stuff that you might not like as much. James 2 Shanten after that pawn.
Curly with a pair of Dora, but the rest of the hand is in a bit of shambles still. Can't even really force Tanya.
Finally, an improvement for Kevin.
Is that? I think that's... Is that
Kev-
Tenpai? Not quite.
Is who Tenpai? Oh,
For the
Steven.
dealer.
Yeah, Steven is Ishanten here. A lot of ways to get complex pair weights.
Yeah, maybe even the double and Totsu in the 8-mon draw.
The super double on Tonsu. Wait, 4-so, 7-so, 2-mon, 5-mon, 8, or 2-mon, 5-mon, 8-mon.
2-mon?
Oh wait, no, not 2-mon. Oh, there's no 6 there. So it'd just be
Just the regular double and Totsu.
just the regular one. That's kind of lame, actually. I had my hopes up. I guess that can never be 258 either, would it? It'd be like 369. Anywho.
Oh no, well, if you draw the 6, then you win on 258 on.
Well, then it's just a San Minchan.
Yeah.
James on the right is Ishanten. Can James chi this?
That's a good question.
4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. No, I don't think so. I don't think this is
Chi.
cheatable.
No,
No,
I guess
because now we don't have a pair. 'Twas our issue. There was no way to chi that and still have a pair after we discarded.
ポン
I don't know. Kevin's getting to a... It just looks like a Bakuhan. Well, it's in the Dora suite, but does not have any Dora, so...
Can accept the Dora at least.
Yeah. I mean, even just this late, just getting Tenpai is it's something.
Curly Ishanten with the Tanya Dora 2. So
1
could open to try and make it winnable. We now have Tenpai on the right for James, waiting 2-mon, 5-mon.
Yeah, 3 left on the
4,
wall this
yeah,
late.
3. Yep.
Not bad considering how late this is.
Kind of incredible that Steven has not found any sort of Tenpai
Boom.
yet.
Oh, that's a
Each.
Dora
next-
Pawn.
on the
Oh,
Ricci
and
for the dealer.
Ricci on the 2-mon.
Oh,
Takes the 6-mon Kanchan
4
wait, oh, that's.
and deals in 4-mon into Curly,
Oh, wow.
which is the
Oh,
Tanya
I
Dora
had
3.
Oh, wow. Oh, why? Oh, the one pin would have been so much. It was Suji, Terminal Suji.
A lot of decisions were just made. Many decisions were
Yeah.
just. The Ricci was a decision. The deal in was a decision. But as it is, that deal in actually cost James the
Yeah.
lead.
A decision with instant regret. So even like, if you're thinking that that hand of the door pawn is most likely Tanya, the one pin would not deal into Tanya. Maybe think it was Chinitsu or something, but I don't know. I don't think so.
It didn't really look like Chinitsu, I don't think. But James here has a decent hand, has four okay blocks, including 2 Dora. So as soon as you get something around that 5-so, or if you happen to pair up a Yakuhai, then you're in a fantastic shape. You might have to race Curly, who across the table does have perhaps a Honitsu brewing, although that 2-3 pin shape is really nice. It's going to be hard to let go of that. And there is the second Hanku for James. We'll see how long Curly holds on to the final one.
Oh, yeah. Rejecting the Chitoi to Shanten.
ポン
Yeah, definitely wanted to call
Chi.
Dora 2.
And now Ishanten. A Ishanten where you can pawn the Dora, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, does miss out on pawning 7-mon, but could also get the extra Yakuai from the east, although they don't know that Curly has 2 easts. Curly 2 Shanten for Chitoi.
Yeah, again, with 2 Dora in hand, I really like playing just pure efficiency. Like, who are we going to fold against with 2 Dora as dealer?
Yeah, I guess Curly could also get a normal hand.
ポン
So double south for Kevin.
But there's another East. Has to make a decision now, though. Perhaps tossing the 7-so is a perfect 2 away.
Yeah.
So can always end up on a Ryanman weight, no matter how Tenpai is achieved.
Oh, there's Tenpai. Well, surely
Yeah, you just
Chi.
take it.
Yeah.
1
There's a not to. Discard a 7-pin, wait for him on 4-pin Champon.
Yeah, 3 left for a Champon. Not bad considering.
Ishanten for Curly. And that is a perfect Ishanten. You cannot open, however. It is the wrong wind for that.
1
And now we have a Ricci. As soon as that 4-pin comes into hand, and this one is waiting on 7-mon. Ooh, an improved weight. You'd have to discard a
wait,
Dora, though.
no.
Oh my
Gee.
god! Discards
Oh,
the
but
Dora.
why? Five.
Gets Kevin to Tenpai.
Oh, 5-mon was safe though.
5-mon was.
Yeah,
I mean,
they might have missed it because of being in the call. It's gonna be hard to see that.
oh, and that would have been Sumo. You would have discarded 5-mon, draw the 3-pin, discard 4-pin, draw the 5-pin. I guess the Chi moved everything.
Yeah.
6-mon, 9-mon is now the wait for Kevin. So we've got 3 Tenpais.
相撲
And there it is!
Oh,
Kevin wins it! Double non! And a Dora.
yeah.
So going into all last, Kevin is our dealer in first.
That is the problem with throwing the Dora. You give someone else an extra on potentially.
And this is a fairly nice hand. I mean, we've got 2 complete shapes and then almost nothing outside of that. There's a Ryoncon and the Manzu. But with the two complete shapes, it's very easy to just start drawing the other block. And you've already made a lot of progress. Has a Dora 9-so in hand, cannot use it yet. Looking around the table, though, I mean, James does have a pair of North, but North isn't enough for James. Even if, let's see, they are, what, 2,900 behind Curly? So to tie would need to be, well, no, not to tie. To direct hit overtake would need to be 2 Han 40 Fu at least.
Or 1 Han 50. That's kind of unlikely, but it could happen.
It can happen if you end up conning the Norths, I suppose.
Well, that North might come out here, but not yet. Oh, goes to Dora instead.
Dora comes out first. I mean, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You have the lead, playing things a little bit safer, although your lead is not very comfortable.
Yeah, Manga and Sumo from the second or third place players would take you out of first.
And I mean, second place could get a Mangan Ron on either of the other two players, especially since last is almost forced to push.
Yeah, especially with that spot with the other 3 players being above 30k, getting that minus 20 UMA would not be great.
But it is a little helpful for Steven that Mangan Sumo is enough to pull James underneath. That makes it a little bit more attainable. Hand not really looking like a Mangan yet, though.
Yeah, there would be an argument for pulling that North, because even though it's not enough for you to get a placement, it's enough to prevent you from going under 30k. So there would be the loss of UMA if that happened.
Curly heading towards Itsudora 1.
Yeah, the shapes are a little awkward, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's all Kanchan. Kanchan all the way down. Oh boy, just keeps drawing odd Sozu.
Yeah, decent Ipeco chances for the dealer.
I mean, many Ipeco chances for the dealer.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun when you can Rishi just discarding all or almost all terminals. Good luck defending, I guess.
Could also just end up with something a little bit more mundane.
Or
a bad Tanyao Champon. Two 3-pin left in the wall. Which actually nobody can use the 3-pin, so would come out. There we have a Ricci from James waiting 2-so 5-so. This is Ricci Pei. And that's it. Ipatsu Sumo would be first place. Doesn't get it.
And yeah, Kevin just wants out, folds.
Yeah, the Amon save.
Yeah, it was pushed by Steven. But otherwise would have had Tempai.
Ooh, there's the 8-so. Yeah, just playing safe. So all the 5-so now gone, 2 8-so gone, 2 8-so left in the wall. And we do have Tempai for Curly, of course, waiting on 8-so as well. Or wait, is the only person waiting on 8-so.
Yeah.
It's the 2-so and the 5-so that deal into James. 8-so deals into Curly.
Sumo.
Oh, and that's going to be a sumo.
Itsudora.
Not enough
not
to
quite
overtake.
Enough at first, but
almost dropped James below 30k with the Ricci stick.
Yeah.
So James scraping by with a plus 0.1, about as narrow as you can get. Curly with that sumo ekes out a plus 12.5. Kevin holds on to first with a plus 24.1. Steven, very unfortunate that James did not fall below 30k there, ends up taking the big UMA hit and ends up at negative 36.7. And we have finally, after all of that, gotten to the end of tonight's games. Many, many, many games were played in the ARML tonight. A lot of them were fun. A lot of them were unfun for the people who came in last. A lot of brutal games. I'm actually counting how many games there were.
A lot. The easiest way, you look at the latest game number, 3125, and just scroll up to when they started and get the difference.
18. I believe. 18 Hanchan were played in the ARML tonight. A very, very fun night for Mahjong. And since this is C1, that's part of why these stats are so sparse. We, of course, only have stats from people who have played games. And most of these stats, I believe, are people who played games last season. All of these are previous season stats still.
Yeah, Curly and Kevin entering the league do not have any win dealing call Ricci stats yet.
Yeah, they actually have 0% participation. It's wild. They never call, they never Ricci. It's kind of insane what they're pulling off. But Steven, even after taking that very big last place, still in very good position, still in third overall division, likely won't fall very far from that as people finish. Plus 52.1 is a very good showing in the first set of games.
Yep, fairly good.
But with all of that being said, do you have any closing thoughts, Dustin?
If it is true that Cheetoy didn't win a hand, it's for a good reason.
All right, and now that Dustin has given his bad take, remember that if you would like to know when we are going live, you should follow us at American Ricci on Twitter. Also, make sure that you hit the little heart on your screen on Twitch so that you get updated through there. Turn your notifications on. If you want to see past broadcasts, we upload all our broadcasts to tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. At this point, we have approximately 37 billion hours of content on there. A lot of very fun games, a lot of very good commentating. If you are having fun watching and would like to take part yourself, visit our homepage, americanricci.org, and you can sign up for the summer season. Signups for the summer season are over on June 19th, I believe. So still plenty of time to sign up for that, but it'll be here before you know it. And the earlier you sign up, the more likely you might get called upon as a sub this season, as life happens to people and they're forced to drop out or for various other reasons. So it is always good to sign up early. With all that being said, I am on WE. I was joined tonight by Dustin, and thank you very much to our broadcast director, Nathaniel, for putting everything on. For the American Ricci Mahjong League, I hope you all have a wonderful night.